We are MCDM Productions, and we play D&D.
We are Motorhead! And we play rock and roll!
That was your logo, Phil.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Designed by Dan Connolly, and then you update it.
Yes.
You remember that? So, I mean, this is it. This is the show, and I feel like this is probably the most viewers we'll ever have. So I'm going to just take a couple seconds and thank all the people, including Tom Schmuck for that awesome intro you just saw, and Yun Chen for doing he did the MCDM Presents part. Yun Chen did the chain intro, custom intro for our D&D game. And our friend Silvano Matthews did all the music you just heard. And also, first of all, I want to thank my players for waiting a year. It was like a year and a half ago. We were like, hey, when are we going to play D&D again? And I'm like, well, I had this idea. So thanks for being patient. Also, super, super thanks to the unsung hero of this entire thing, our friend Jerry, who is about 30 feet over in that direction in his own room. And if it wasn't for him, we would literally not be doing this right now. It was close. Came down to the wire, but he pulled it off.
Yay, Jerry.
Yay, Jerry! So let's see. What have you folks missed? I want to thank our sponsor, our first and maybe only ever sponsor, you. You folks backed the Kickstarter. You folks paid for this. These cameras, these microphones, these lights, the studio is all as a result of the Kickstarter. And you have enabled us to live this crazy dream where we get to play D&D live and some people watch. And who knows what'll happen. The thing you've missed is that I promised everybody that you would get to see us make characters live on the stream because I thought that would be a lot of fun. But then I changed my mind because I thought that would be incredibly tedious and boring. And it'd be 45 minutes of people saying, wait, well, what is a proficiency bonus? And I would have, and which skill is the one I want to take? And that's not interactive and it's not fun to watch. So what we did was, everybody came and made characters and they rolled dice and they generated their stats, but they all did it separately. So the players do not know, this will be the first time many of the players have seen the other characters they've made. And we filmed the die rolling part and we made a video that we're all going to watch now. So not only are you going to get to meet the heroes of this campaign for the first time, so are the players.
Ooh, there, look.
Look at that. Okay, so now, can we tell who that is just by the dice they're using?
Wooden dice?
Wooden dice you can't read, I think, is Lars.
Mm-hmm. Lars.
Yes, I think so.
Classic.
Lars.
So 12, 13, 9.
Ooh, rough.
So far,
Okay.
I think this is a sign of things to come. This is Captain Average. Professor Average, Dr. Average. 15, I think, is as good as it gets for this dude.
Ooh.
Too low. So I had my own little house rule, which is you get to re-roll a stat if it's below 8, I think, or 8 or lower. And then if your total bonuses didn't equal +2 or more, if you add up all your bonuses, if it wasn't +2 or more, then you get to re-roll. And I don't think anybody had to re-roll, actually. A couple of people got the 8 or lower problem.
A lot of strength. All right.
So this is a human 5th level. Everybody starts at 5th level. Fighter, battle master, which is as close to a warlord as the commander. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. He looks like he should be wearing a kilt.
Nice.
Sounds like Lars. Oh, Edgelord.
Edgelord. This is Lars, the Edgelord. Well, the chain is the place to be an Edgelord. If anybody's, okay. So now I don't know who this is.
I think it's me.
Is this Phil? Okay.
If it's all 12s, then yes, it's me.
I just realized I left my mini on my desk.
Is it all 12s? Well, unfortunately, there's no way for you to get out right now.
No, we're trapped.
You literally are trapped here.
No,
It's probably a bad idea,
just
Lars.
Wait, just wait.
It's probably a bad idea to
No,
try to
just
get
wait.
out because you'll trip over something or break something. 12, 12, 12, 15, 15.
12.
This is the
my
most
God.
average group ever.
Look at all those.
That's above average. That's above
Well, I think Phil has the best stats. I think Phil is number 1 or number 2 in the total bonuses.
Oh,
Because
wow,
I mean,
really?
you don't. At least you don't have too many low. Below 10s or something.
Well, if you
Maybe your
strategically place your stats and then you pick the right ancestry, then you can end up with some decently high stats by the time you're 5th level.
Human, of course. Plus
Human.
ones all over.
Of course.
Of course, yeah. Because neither Phil nor Lars, they think
Pugilist.
Pugilist is
It's
a
a hug.
pugilist is a cut. Look at that guy,
Yes. Oh my God.
Oh.
Look at that.
the lieutenant. Yes, so that,
Love the trench coat.
yeah. Pugilist is a custom class. I think you can get it on the DM's Guild. I did not make it up.
Yep.
Do you guys all have the same dice set?
Ben made it up.
They're using my
That's
dice.
awesome.
They're using my dice.
I was like, I wasn't included.
Those are the Madagascar rosewood with the
Oh.
electrum inlay. 15,
Those are
12,
nice.
13. Again, once again, no one gets a high stat. The good news is your stats aren't going to be low. The bad news is your stats are not going to be high. I don't know why.
12. Is this
12.
And is this Tom?
A 12.
Tom, not
Totally legal character.
That's similar to
Oh,
Phil's.
that's almost yeah.
Yeah.
just placed in the different spots.
Yeah, if that 13 had been a 15, then we
Yeah.
would have had the same. Let's see where his bonuses go.
Human.
Charisma.
Another human.
Everybody wants to get all those bonuses.
3 humans, which
Whoa,
is not. I did not
sorcerer.
prescribe that. These people just want to play humans.
Oh,
A wild magic sorcerer.
I
Nails.
was off. I was
Whoa.
Nice.
Nails is a badass name for a fucking sorcerer. Tom. Umlaut Tom. Tom. Tom.
That's awesome.
Sooner or later, everything
Oh, yeah,
burns.
it's a little saying.
Yeah. These dice do not match, so who could this possibly be? Matching dice, what are those? If only, if
The
only,
one I can't even, it's
yeah, you can't even read them. People, yeah,
I
it's a
know
good
what
thing
it
we
is.
had
I
to
know what it is. It's always
yeah.
a 6.
It's a good thing that you literally have like 30 sets of dice.
I wonder if I don't know if I put them on the right shelf. If you can see
16 so far. Is 16 the high stat in the entire
Yeah, I
group?
think so.
Yep.
This is me?
it.
Oh.
No, this isn't me.
Wow.
This
No.
is
That's
You
pretty
okay? You
good-
ready for
those are
this?
Some pretty good rolls.
Look at this.
oh, this okay, yeah.
Charisma based. A lot of people thought paladin when they were like,
That's
paladin,
yeah.
high charisma paladin. That's
That's
very,
what I
very good guess.
Or either a warlock.
That's what Phil, when Phil saw the retainers.
Tiefling.
Okay.
Nice.
Illrigger.
Wait, plus 2,
Illrigger.
plus 1.
So the Illrigger is a custom class that I built from scratch.
Oh.
Right? So I think if things are working well, then you'll be able. Everybody watching can now read about the
That guy
Illrigger.
looks familiar.
Dude.
How are you gonna call
I think
me
you
an
ran into him
edgelord
at Starbucks
when
the
that's
other
your
day.
character? How are you gonna call me an edgelord when
Like
that's your
when we
character?
enter-
If you're gonna play an edgelord, this is the party to do it in. 10.
I was too low in the first.
I mean, the name of the group is the Chain. Right? It's like
Sound like a hair band.
hair metal band. Yeah. Hopefully Jerry has got it set up so that folks can. I beg your pardon, Jerry?
Working on it.
Yeah. 7 is
Too
too
low.
low.
Damn, Thomas.
Yeah, it was.
Tom had a rough day.
Compared to his
Oh, there
last
you go.
character.
Look at that.
17.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I ordered this video in order of the most normal characters to the weirdest
Really?
characters.
So I'm the most normal.
Oh, okay.
You're the most normal?
No, from most normal to weirdest.
Oh,
I don't
weird.
know.
Okay, this is going to
Let's see. See what Tom came up with.
No one got an 18. No one rolled an 18.
Goblin.
Hey.
What?
Plot twist.
A ranger, okay. What's that?
East Conclave.
Two? What? 2 characters?
Wait, you have a pet displacer beast? That's bullshit. Oh, bullshit.
What?
That is
That's
amazing.
to make up for your shitty dice rolls, I guess.
Yeah, so I think that went pretty well. Yeah, I built. Tom wanted to play Beastmaster Ranger, and he wanted to have a cool pet. And we talked about him having like a boulet. I thought it'd be cool for him to ride around on a boulet.
Oh my god.
But he's like,
Is it
no.
huge?
Well, I mean,
Like the size
it
of
could have been a
rhino?
baby boulet, right? We could have worked it out.
baby boulet?
What's a boulet?
Yeah.
You'll see. It's like
land
a
shark.
it's a land, it's a giant like rhinoceros-sized
I
land
like
shark.
big cat.
Oh yeah.
And so I fixed a ranger for you, sort of.
Yeah.
Like I just kit bashed something together that people should, if Jerry has the link hooked up. Jerry, do we have the link hooked up?
Yeah, it's mcdmproductions.com/the-chain.
Awesome. mcdmproductions.com/the-chain. Should take you to a link that has all the documents, all the handouts and everything, including the ranger. That's not a new ranger. I just kind of replaced some of the existing ranger's abilities and talking to Tom about how he thought his cat class should work with, teaming up with being his pet being like a team member that he coordinates with. We threw some stuff in there. This is all super alpha stuff. The Illrigger, no one's ever played this before, so you're going to see a lot of crazy, probably overpowered or unbalanced or just broken stuff.
I hope it's overpowered.
Yeah. Well, I prefer like overpowered stuff because I find it's easier to dial something back.
Sure.
Right? If I like it, but everyone agrees this is crazy overpowered, I can start dialing it back. But if it's broken and doesn't work, people just get frustrated out of the game. They don't want to play it anymore. So let's see. Is that it? Oh, by the way, thanks to our friend Jason for all that awesome character art. I think you knocked that out of the park. Also, are you guys, now we're actually going to get into the meat of it. Oh, okay, so this is the pep talk that I normally give my players in a new campaign, but I waited for you guys to be here. And that is that this session might be kind of short because I usually like to just get like 1 or 2 combats under our belt and then call it good and do a bunch of sit-up because you guys have never played these characters before. We have never played together. This group has never played D&D together, so it's probably going to be weeks or months before you guys actually figure out like who your characters are. And you got to put some of you put a lot of thought into your backstory, but then you got to play the character, and things may change. You may discover that specialization that you picked you don't like, or you know the way even the class you chose or the background. All of that stuff is stuff we can swap out as we play and as we find out how stuff works. Don't worry about any of that stuff. You will discover who your characters are over time. You don't have to get it right out of the gate. That's totally normal. Also, you guys have a bunch of magic items that you still have not. Only one person has really picked.
I picked some.
Well, yeah, okay. Phil took the belt of Hill Giant Strength, and then everyone else is like, I'd kind of like this, I'd kind of like that, and then so much. This is all completely by the rules. 5th edition, Xanthar's Guide to Everything. I think we used to generate
Other
this.
people took stuff, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I took the whole.
Actually, the belt of
person's
Hill Giant Strength is because fellow YouTuber Jenny Nicholson came down here to have lunch and hang out, and I was almost done, and the last item I had to come up with was like, what's the coolest item the chain has? And so I just gave Jenny Nicholson the Xanathar's Guide and said, here, pick something from this list. And she was like, ooh, this sounds cool. And there were a couple of things she picked that sounded cool, and that was
There's
one
like
you got.
potions
Talked
of
about the
healing
sword
and
earlier.
stuff.
That's good. I'm glad.
Oh yeah, we can just have
Glad
somebody
you
hold
picked
those. But
Yeah, it's going to be dope for your
Do you want
character.
your name
So it's everything's, 5th edition is a lot more low magic than 4th edition, or even the last 5th edition campaign I ran, which was kind of over the top when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, I looked over the items. I don't know if there's anything particular necessarily needed. But
well,
maybe potions or something.
you're a ranged guy, right? So why don't you take the javelin of lightning?
I don't. That's
a dex
strength.
thing.
It's strength.
Is it?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Is it strength based?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, I'll throw you a javelin. That makes sense.
Well, then Phil, you're strength based, right? Why don't you hold on to it?
I'll be honest.
Okay. I mean,
Strength based with that belt on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
seriously.
I mean,
Well,
you're
listen,
gonna have the best
if
chance
you
to hit, right?
yeah, if
With
you're gonna
it,
throw
so-
something at somebody, might as well be a javelin of lightning.
all right.
I mean, Nasa had one of those, and she did really well with
Oh
it.
my
We
God,
just
it
had
was
to
so
recover it.
cool.
Yeah.
The stuff that you guys don't pick
remember
is just going to be in party treasure, and that means you guys have access to it, but you're not going to be able to get it in combat.
Well, we should definitely split up the potions of healing
I
right now.
made
Then.
out good in this one.
Seriously.
Yeah, you're doing all right, Phil.
Who
I'm jealous of you.
in a while.
Yeah.
Can we talk about HP and meta stuff like that?
Sure.
Like, to determine who might need the health potions the
Yeah.
worst.
So I'm gonna say we give Tom a health potion.
What a great way to start
Yes.
a campaign.
You want-
Here's a
you
bunch of
want
magic
both?
items. This scroll's stupid. Who wants to scroll?
I say we leave the potion of climbing in the in the treasury.
Do you want it?
Maybe
You
I
and
could
Big Cat can take a swig and
Yeah.
climb up the wall.
You can feed it to your displacer beast.
If you leave in the treasury, then it's going to take a while to access
Actually,
during
let me hang
combat.
on to that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, so you want to leave it or you want to keep it?
No, I'll keep the climbing one.
Okay. Gaseous form we can leave.
This is real D&D, folks.
A sticky situation.
I don't know.
Necklace
why,
of
I think we
fireballs,
should carry
maybe
it
we-
all.
Yeah,
You
we
think so?
should.
Well, who,
Why
who
not?
wants it?
I don't know. Just give it to
Yeah,
somebody.
just get assigned to
Send
somebody.
it out.
Yeah, you're the
Okay,
captain.
well,
By the
yeah,
way,
like-
Oh,
you're
right.
the captain.
That's one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, right.
Um,
Captain.
Commander.
Commander, you're the commander.
And
Sorry.
lieutenant,
So
right?
Schmuck, you're gonna wear the necklace of fireballs.
That's not my name, but.
I looked at what it does. You have a necklace. You take off the bead. You chuck
What's
it.
your
You chuck
name?
a fireball.
Cool. Sweet.
Aw. Oh,
Good name.
So scroll
pleasant
witch bolt. I don't know.
But like,
do
only
you
people
have
that have known
access
you
to
for
witch
a
bolt?
long time
Do
would
you know?
probably
You
that.
do.
Well, I
So we
imagine
can give
that
that
would
to you.
be-
Oh yeah, that would be absolutely would be. Yeah. But even
So you
like
scroll a witch
you know,
bolt.
if there ain't junior officers or just rank and file
Yeah,
people
they-
around, they probably
Call me
wouldn't use
captain.
your exactly.
Can we go
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
Respect my authority.
all the rolls again? Because I kind of missed it
Okay,
over
so I'm glad you brought that up, Tom, because what I've done is I've printed out cards with everybody's titles and
perfect.
ranks and what they do. So, for instance, Judge is the weapon master.
Oh, nice.
So these aren't on your character sheet because they don't belong to your character. They are a title that belongs to the company. If your character dies, you're going to pass this on to somebody else. Phil is the lieutenant.
Sweet.
The commander, the standard bearer, and the staff sorcerer. Do you guys want to go around the table and just say, and also Lars made me a special one.
The
that
Wang
says
Master.
the Wank Master.
Beautiful.
You're everyone's favorite wanker, but you're still a huge fuckface.
Is that your special ability?
That is from Lars. Thank you,
I'll
Lars.
get you a box Lars.
So yeah, let's start with Schmuck. What does your thing do?
I am the staff sorcerer. I study the Chronicle during a long rest and choose a spell I know that can be cast at higher levels. I may cast this spell at one higher level without using a higher level spell slot.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Maybe a little bit. Like a lot of your spells say, hey, if you cast this first level spell as with a second level slot, it does more stuff.
Yep.
And that means you get the benefit of that stuff without having to use the higher level slot.
Cool.
Why does this always screw me?
You're doing it the wrong
You
way.
need to get your plastic
Your
ones.
mom's doing it the wrong way. There we go.
There we go. That guy needs a flip too.
You're up.
My mom will kick your ass, dude.
Here, if there's any stuff on there, we can.
Who are you, Tom?
Oh, I am the standard bearer. If you fall unconscious after an enemy attack, all members of the chain within 60 inches,
Feet.
sorry, can move up to their speed as a reaction.
Yeah, you
So if I
can't-
go down,
We can't let that standard touch the dirt.
or yeah,
Or you run away.
This piece does not work there.
We're just
Schmuck,
setting
I
up.
don't know.
We're just setting up the battle.
This
Who's
tester's
next?
blocked. It's not.
Phil.
Yell.
Okay, so the lieutenant, once per battle, is as a reaction to a senior officer rolling initiative, you may swap two officers' initiative results. So officers are all of us, right? So if he gets a really good one and he gets a really crappy one and we want him to go first.
Exactly.
Oh.
That's exactly.
Right
Yep,
on.
it just lets you kind of be like, he's the commander, you're the lieutenant, you
Yep.
are sort of more tactical, he's more kind of high level. What does the weapon master do?
The weapon master, when a senior officer rolls damage with a weapon attack, they treat all ones as twos. So if you
Okay.
roll a 1, it's just automatically a 2.
That's only
instead.
for weapon attacks.
Yeah.
Magic user. Yeah. So the idea is that Judge is just an expert with weapons and spends his downtime kind of sharpening things and making sure you guys have the best weapons in the first place.
You have a nice edge on them.
Yes.
He's our armorer.
I'm the commander. As a bonus action, I can choose a senior officer of the chain. They may either move their speed or gain a free melee attack
That's once per battle.
once per battle.
Yeah. So it makes you even more slightly warlordy than you already are.
Yep.
All right, so I think I threatened that this was going to be one of a pretty kind of there's going to be a big cinematic, quasi-railroady opening to this. But then as we play over the next, like, this session and the next session, things are going to open up and you guys are going to get a lot more freedom and choice. But this is the setup.
The setup.
This dice is so sharp.
So one of these cameras has I think
This.
that's the one that people can see.
Okay.
So
Oh,
this,
Oh, you're making everybody sick.
oh God!
Close your eyes, everybody. I tried. How close do we need to be? It's really
Nah,
close.
that's not good.
Here, I got it.
That's too close, yeah. There we go.
Pretty good work.
Yeah, so this is a blues
right
light
there.
blues light painting painted. This is a Pegasus Minis model.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Yeah, he did an amazing job with like the torches, illuminating the walls, and the stained glass is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, we need to have a light behind there.
Yeah, if there was a light in here, yeah, that would be awesome. I have no idea. There's no top to this, but it looks like there's a place to put tops. Super weird.
So are all the three of these working?
I think only
Yeah.
the middle one.
Well, this is the primary
Is
one.
the middle one is the one that people can watch on the main stream. I forgot to tell everybody that we have 2 streams. We literally have 2 streams. One
don't cross
is
them.
the one you're watching right now, MCDM. The other one is /MCDM2, and I think we need to switch back to the. Yeah, there we go. The other one's MCDM2, and that's a stream that is the overhead camera and all the tactical cameras. And that way, if you're on mobile, it's not going to be great. But if you're on your computer at home, you can be switching back and forth and minimize or maximize any
Use
window you want.
multi-twitch, too.
And you could use simul-twitch and watch both at the same time. But the idea is that it's very limited our ability to show you what's happening on the table. And I tend to run a kind of tactical game. So the second stream is literally, and I think it's like 15 frames a second or something like that, so it's super low bandwidth. This is the Cathedral of St. Clement the Journeyman. And it is the largest building in Black Bottom. And it is probably the last freestanding church in all of Vasloria, because the Ajax, the overlord, destroyed all the churches. And that was actually quite a while ago. Black Bottom is a big city. It's one of the biggest cities in Vasloria. It's a port city. and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's just after daybreak, and Black Bottom, like, you guys have been all over the world. This is a big city for the locals that live here, but you guys have seen Alloy. You guys have seen the city of Brass. So this place is like a hovel to you. None of the buildings are taller than like 3 stories. It's a big deal to have a building like this. And this is where the final contract of the chain begins. What was the contract, Captain and Lieutenant? This is where you debrief the rest of the party.
So we've been hired. We got to assassinate Ajax the Invincible's
His
basically
wizard.
his wizard. Yeah.
That's a contract.
The contract
What's
is
the contract?
assassinating his wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you saw in the opening, there's like the contract in the background.
Oh, yeah,
but-
yeah, yeah.
So like the wizard that makes his castle float.
Yeah, that wizard.
And created the war breed. That wizard.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So we have
No big.
That's it?
That's it. But that's a big deal.
Okay.
So we have 5 arrows that you were most likely going to use, Tom, because I think you're the only arrow boy that we got. And according to the person that gave us the contract, that it'll get through all of his wards. It's made out of the same stuff as the Teeth of the Dragon, which is the swords we had in
Right.
the other campaign
Yeah.
that Jess's character ran away with. And we've been hired by Jess, the Baron of Dalrath, who's from the last campaign, and Nicodemus,
Wait,
Jess'
Jess.
character.
So we got. we're-
Lady Serial.
We've been
sorry.
hired by them?
We've been hired by them to kill the staff
Oh,
sorcerer.
wow.
So what we know as the chain is that Ajax has basically been taking out all civilized life and conquering it. And we kind of had a choice to make what we were going to do, what side we're going to be on. The other mercenary company that we know about is Dunzo. The Tower, I think they're called, right?
Yeah.
So, we can either make a stand now or we can be hunted down eventually. But, yeah, this is one of the better opportunities we're going to have to actually do something about this.
Right.
So that's what I remember from it. I don't know if you want to say anything else or you're just
What's
going.
I mean, it's not up to me to say anything else. It's up to you guys what you remember about the conversation.
Do we have the name of the
That
wizard?
about covered it. What's that?
Do you have the name of the wizard?
I don't.
Shit, I don't remember his name either.
Ajax wizard.
They don't remember. They're like,
So,
I don't remember. She said.
Do you have
It's,
do you have a written contract?
Actually, yeah, they do. It's the contract you can see.
Yeah.
It's the contract you can see in the thing. His name is Morton.
That's it.
Yeah, the Wizard Mortal. So what we know is that he's going to walk out that door at 6 a.m. when the bells toll. He's in there meeting
Priest.
So yeah, the priest in this temple. They're trying to switch them over to worship Ajax because he's a saint, and that also happened in the last campaign a little bit. The Knights of the Three Rows or whatever,
yeah,
Black
yeah.
Rose. Yeah. So we got to figure out what we're gonna do.
so he's going to be in there.
He's gonna walk out this door. At 6
And when he
a.m.
comes out, we need to kill him.
we got to jump him.
Got it.
So
Easy.
there's people out here. There's guards at the church. My suggestion was that we, pose as city guards. I don't think that's going to work for you because you're a goblin. Probably not for
They
you
can't tell
because
the
you're a
difference.
demon man.
I'm a-
So
You're
but
a
gonna,
demon man.
You're going to be sniping anyway, most likely with the arrows. So I don't know. I assume this is a building right here.
Yeah, those are buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, and those are alleys. The Black Bottom is notoriously twisty, windy, narrow streets.
And the
Oh,
wards,
okay, those are buildings.
Yeah,
And the wards are on-
Yeah, in fact, I can. Hang on.
the wards are on him?
The wards are on him, so he's
Okay.
guarded by
Hey, don't you have a ton of model buildings out there?
Yeah, but I don't want to block everybody's line of sight.
Oh yeah, fair.
We'll use that. We'll use that in other scenarios.
Okay,
But if I put them out here, you wouldn't be able to see what the hell's going on.
that's right.
So I haven't had a lot of time to figure out tactics for this.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
basically got it, and here we are. So only thing I got is that we come in as city guards, so people aren't going to think much of us.
Mhm.
Probably Phil and I, since we're melee fighter type people, we're going to get up near him. We can't attack him, I don't think, until you can land a hit. So that's where we can maybe use your lieutenant ability to make sure Tom has the highest initiative. I would think that we might get some sort of surprise, but who knows if he knows what we're going to do.
Yep.
This is us kind of figuring it out.
What do these buildings look like? Are they slanted roof, flat topped?
They're slanted roof. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Are there any upper story windows looking out onto the street?
Yeah, there are. Yeah, all of these buildings have.
These private residencies.
Yeah, this is one of the nice parts of town. So these tend to be 2-story buildings. There are some 3-story buildings.
Yeah.
There are people, kind of, it's very light traffic. It's just after dawn. But at, shortly after dawn, the bells ring for the first service. And so people will start gathering.
We were given this contract last night.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So we've had time to plan.
Yeah, you've had time to scout the area out and plan. Yeah.
All right.
What does the crowd look like? Like, is it
I mean, there's
mostly
maybe
humans?
there's maybe like 8 or 9 people walking around.
Oh, okay.
There's somebody setting up a cart, getting ready to sell apples
And
to the
where
people
are
that come to the church.
where are the 2 guards?
Oh, they're.
I assume they're outside the door.
Yeah. My minis are not in here.
And you said that he's inside beating up the priest?
I didn't say that.
It's heating up.
No,
They're
they're
talking,
having
they're
some
having
sort
a
of meeting.
They're trying to
Oh,
convert
they're
him.
trying. Sorry.
Meeting.
Meeting and not beating. Okay.
I mean, hey, it's you never know.
Yeah, because because I don't know if the priest has any power whatsoever, but if so, might be inclined to assist us rather than turn over the church.
That depends on. Yeah.
I'm talking with officers.
So, what is the reaction of people in the city to seeing like Hornhead and the Goblin?
Well, that's a good question. Do you guys walk around do you have any aversion to people knowing who you are? There's no law against being a
I don't
tiefling
bow
or a
my
goblin.
head. I'm not a dragon man.
Yeah,
And
you're
we're
not.
part of the, and we're like, this is part of the chain, which is a large group of, and we all have like,
Black Bottom is
they
pretty eclectic because it's a port city, and in fact, a lot of people use it to trade. Like people who have no trade with Phasloria will trade here in Black Bottom, and as a result, you see all kinds of crazy stuff here.
Okay, so
You see,
so
like,
it's not unusual. Like people,
It's unusual, but
Okay.
it's not like that's never happened. So when people see you, for instance, like that, and actually a tiefling is super unusual. So they'll stop and stare and whisper afterwards, and they'll talk about demons and stuff like that. But no one raises a ruckus. No one calls the cops or anything like that.
Well, no, I'm
goblins are much less rare
I'm just
than tieflings.
thinking that if
Not a goblin on
if
it.
the street isn't heavily populated, right, it's gonna look weird to see
Yeah.
this guy
Two
and this
oddballs
guy just
wandering
standing
around.
there nonchalantly.
Eating an apple.
Hello.
So what I
Well, I think Tom should be posted up somewhere where he's going to have vantage over.
There is heavy fog everywhere on the ground. It's still very early in the morning.
wait, I don't know
and-
anybody's name.
oh, right.
Right, we should probably.
Well, I
do
know I know
quick
Nails
introductions.
Nails.
and Judge,
No, Judge.
Judge.
and
My name was Judge.
Oh, I
she
got
got
it.
really mad about
That's
it.
not true.
you're just captain.
How are you gonna put that on
You're
the
captain
record?
or the
Do
commander.
you not actually have a name? You're just
Huh?
commander.
He
They
knew what he
don't
wanted
know
to be
that.
from the beginning.
What's that?
I'm supposed to be called the commander
Oh,
because
okay.
that's yeah.
That's your, oh,
Well,
you're going by that name?
So your
Okay.
character is
That is my
probably
name.
like I don't think Lars knows what his character's nickname was before he became the commander, but
It
your
was- it was
character
Red.
was Red.
Yeah, we
So
talked
yeah.
about that.
Right.
So yeah, you guys all remember him. Most of you probably remember him as Red.
All right.
If
I
any of
need
you
I need to
knew-
write all this stuff down.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Wait, so you go by the commander or you go by
It
Red?
goes by the commander, yeah.
Okay.
Because like in front of all the rest of the
Got it.
people in the
It would be
chain.
considered
Yeah.
almost insubordinate.
Yeah.
So it's like
Or a
the
normal
commander is
person.
the top.
Yeah.
He tells us kind of, and then is it the lieutenant? Then is like the next
Yes.
kind
Yeah,
of
that-
in the
like
chain.
the second
but I
ranking
mean,
officer.
like your character actually saved my dude's life long before. So I think you would know my character's name's Sweet, by the way.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Let me write that down.
Does it weird you out when does it weird Sweet out when other officers in the chain just refer to him as lieutenant, or do you prefer to be called
Oh,
by?
yeah.
I think he would probably prefer to be like for his friends to call him his normal name.
Got it.
I'm calling everyone boss.
Calling everybody boss. That sounds good to me. That sounds good to me.
Sounds like a
Calling
very
everybody
copper
boss.
Yeah. I'm just the mascot here.
No, you're the star of the show.
You're the standard.
What's
You're
your,
the-
what's your
you're-
character's name again?
Copper.
Copper. That's right.
And you have has he seen his mini?
I don't think so. Did you put your mini in your drawer?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
Oh yeah. No, that,
Oh yeah, should we break
now
out
that
the
the big
minis
reveal
now?
has happened.
I want people to see Tom's mini. It's nails.
Don't do it too close. It's not painted.
So yeah, what I was thinking was that it'd be cool if we could get Copper up high, off the street, preferably in a window.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if these are private residences, I don't
Well, I mean, make an investigation check.
He's got his little standard.
I don't know if we want to put those in front of the tactical stream.
I think that's
Just so they can
what is
see it.
that?
We'll just put them out
That's
here.
a 20-sided die.
Is it that
16.
One? Don't you want to do the middle one?
So I got a 17.
Let's put them out here just so
Yeah.
people can see.
Just put your minis out.
So this house is much like the other ones. It's a noble's house.
Mhm.
Although keep in mind that a noble in Black Bottom is not like a noble in a really nice place. But there doesn't appear to be
Oh, it's
anybody
just like
coming
it.
in around. There's activity in the other houses, but not in this one.
Oh, so maybe it's.
You want me to put your guy out there so people on
People can
stream?
see him.
Oh, sure. Well,
Phil-
I forgot my mini.
Phil,
so,
the pro painter,
Oh, is it not?
did not bring his mini.
so I have to
So
use.
Graves is
I'm
back?
using.
Use
Yeah, so I'm
Graves.
using
He's
my
using
Graves
his mini
mini.
from his last campaign.
It's a big
It's still a good
reunion.
one.
That's cool. Where's? Oh yeah, Tom's mini's dope. And that's a mini that Anna made.
Yeah, and a custom
Anna
made that.
kit bashed that thing together
Oh,
over the
really?
last
Yeah, it's great.
like 48 hours. There was no
Yeah.
mini like 2 days ago. If it wasn't for the last minute, nothing would ever get
Now
done.
I understand
It's
why.
like
Incredible.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
was
gift
saying.
where I'm like, procrastination.
It's not like to buy. You have to.
Right.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Okay. So then, why don't we, like, at least during the night, try to get in there and.
And you mean check out the church?
No, get in the house that looks like it might be empty,
Oh.
so that we can set
Oh.
copper up in the upper window.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
I mean, because like there's hardly any distance between the front of the church.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
definitely
window.
within shooting range.
Yeah.
This one I have a.
The arrows supposedly have a limited range,
Oh, they do.
so. But I mean, I'm sure that's fine.
Who's trying to get into the house? This is like technically the evening before, or is it
Yeah, well,
during the
we
nighttime?
want to get Copper posted up so
Yeah.
he can
You
have
have
a
about 6
shot on the
hours.
door.
About 6
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a little after midnight when the commander and lieutenant show up and say, "All right, this is the job,"
Okay.
and the job is at dawn, basically.
All right. So I think if you guys are going to be breaking and entering, Judge is probably going to be off on the corner, just keeping an eye out and not really getting involved in whatever that is.
Why are you judging us?
Well,
Look,
look, that's what you got. That's how she got her nickname.
you're not
That's how
invited,
she
you're not
got her
invited inside, and
Well, yeah, but
Um,
we need you not on the street though, because people are going to be drawn to a demon man walking around, right? It's going to be like they know, like if
I think
the
they'll
people.
walk away pretty quick once they get a good look
So
at me.
I mean, it's I guess I should say that like it's probably been a couple of days since the chain arrived in Black Bottom. There's like 360 soldiers that are now in the taverns, some of which are just right down the street from here. So people know the chain is in town. The fact it's not a secret that you guys are here.
Okay.
It's not a secret that you guys are here.
Right.
And it's not unusual for mercenary companies to roll into town, especially considering Black Bottom again is a port city, and it just means a lot of opportunity for people who have taverns and want to make money, and they'll jack up the prices and charge you a lot. So the fact
their
that,
ass.
especially the fact that like you've got, I think all of you have the chain symbol, right? So people know if they see you, they're going to freak out, but they're going to go, oh, it's one of those mercenary folks.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
everyone wearing the colors? Yeah, they are.
Oh, yeah. Did you
Yeah.
see my guy? Here, he's got blues light painted mine. He's got,
Blues Light is awesome.
Nice.
yeah, he's got the thing on the back
Oh
of it.
wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Can I see?
Yeah. There you go.
Showing them
Yay!
He's a heavy
How
one.
the hell did he do that?
It's so small.
Did he make a?
He actually
I
did it
think-
on mine
I
too.
think
Oh,
he
he's a
did it.
professional, eh? Blues
kinda
Light
see
Painting,
it.
everybody, good friend of ours, and does all our art.
that's
Not all of
cool.
our, but a lot of our mini paintings.
Is it like a water slide transfer, or did he actually paint
You're
it on
asking
there?
the wrong person. He is on Twitter, though.
Yeah.
He is on Twitter, and he is a huge fan of ours.
Yeah.
And he might be watching even as we speak.
I want to know how he did that.
So it has. Well, first
It's
of all,
put
let
on
me
the
see it.
Camera maybe?
You
Like,
wanna
yeah,
see
but the people need to be able to see on the tactical stream. Wow, that is some high detail.
He's got
That's
his little.
crazy. It does look like a transfer. So
And if
I don't
it's
know
not,
people
that's
can-
even more
Turn
impressive.
him around. Yeah.
Yeah, so people can see it. I love. By the way, this is Jerry's idea to use regular everyday smartphones as the tactical cameras because they are not only really good cameras, and he's got these little stands, but they have a monitor built into them so that we can
can
actually
see,
see what you folks see on the tactical
last
stream.
time.
And that is, yeah, we had webcams before, and we couldn't see what the viewers were watching. All right,
Yeah.
so yeah, you guys have about 6 hours to plan and plot and scheme.
Gotcha. So, I mean, we don't have any rogues in the.
No. Do we have any kind of dispel or anything like that? Like, what do you have some sort of spell that we can dispel with or something like that? We don't.
What are you
have,
trying to
we don't have a
dispel?
player. Well, he's got wards and stuff.
But that's what the arrows are for.
well,
Yeah, I'm more thinking about getting into the house, the breaking and entering.
Oh.
part.
Aren't
Okay.
you like a
Do you-
sneaky? Are you a sneaky type?
I can.
I mean, I have thieves' tools, and is picking locks sleight of hand in 5th edition? Because they don't have.
It's a function of having thieves' tools. If you have thieves' tools, then you can make. I think it's a dexterity check with proficiency.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think. Actually,
I think that's what it was.
Actually,
when I was a rogue.
we have low latency chat turned on.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to whether or not we can, instead of looking it up, if we can get an answer from chat. That'd be great.
Let's see if
Are
they
you
beat
keeping
me.
an eye on the
They'll
thingy?
probably
See
beat
if
me.
people.
The moderator just went, yes. I think it works one of these three ways. It's your dexterity plus
Holy
proficiency.
crap, that was fast.
Yeah, it lets you. Look at that! The system
Awesome.
works.
This-
The system works.
Yeah, really.
It lets you use. Yeah, I'm a huge believer, by the way, in enfranchising chat and trying to make chat part of the process. It's very difficult. We have a couple of ideas, one of which you're going to see later in the stream. But part of that is just we have mods. The mods know a lot about D&D. You folks know a lot about D&D. The wisdom of crowds means that we might be able to actually save time at the table. Instead of stopping the game to look something up, we could just ask chat and find out.
Right on.
And it's apparently it's Thieves' Tools lets you use your dex plus your proficiency modifier.
All right. Well, I'll see if I can. Preferably a back door if there is one.
There are side doors and a back door.
Yeah. Like one in the alley where it's.
Well, also it's super late at night.
8,
Wow.
Do we know if all 5
Wait,
of
8 or
them-
18?
18.
18 is more than enough. No one in this part of town has, even the noblemen, are not used to basically professional adventurers coming by to try to break into their house.
These
It's a
people
nice
leave our
lock.
doors
Don't get me
unlocked.
wrong, by the way. It's a nice lock. But yeah.
Do we
You
know
were
if
able to-
all 5 of these need to hit them? Did they mention anything? The arrows or whatever? Before we, just really quick.
They didn't really say.
No, they didn't
Okay.
really say.
They said they will kill him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we brought up that we could use more than that, but that's all we got.
Okay.
So is the plan that Copper and Big Cat are just gonna hang out in this place all night until the next morning?
I mean,
Or
there's
just
a.
post
Oh,
up.
Is Big Cat here?
oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big cat's
His
absolutely.
name-
He's right there.
His name is Big
It's Big
Cat.
Kind of hard to miss.
It's
Jon
what a
Snow
goblin
in
would
your
name a
Yeah.
displacer beast. You know, it's a big cat.
It's very soft, so it's nice to sleep on. I don't mind.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I don't
Yeah.
mind
Thick
taking
coat.
a nap up there.
Yeah.
All right.
How did you get? How did that
What do
happen?
you mean? How did I get it?
You haven't figured that out? You just haven't?
I caught him. He's a ranger. I'm just the best ranger
Damn it.
there is.
I'm just the best ranger. I'm just the best ranger.
What kind of question
By
is
the
that?
way, this is Tom roleplay. This is what Copper would say to you. You're like, wait, I'm the best ranger. Fuck off. By the way,
Write that
there
down,
is an
write that
answer to
down,
your
write that
question, and
down.
Tom has told me.
Best ranger there is.
Tom has told me
It's the
that.
hey fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know what
Yeah.
I want to reroll too.
We're all gonna have.
We're all, yeah. Slowly over time, as members of the chain die, it's like, I want to be a goblin riding on a displacer beast. It's just an army of goblins on displacer beast. Actually, that gives me an idea. All right, so yeah.
All right, so we're in.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, it's a nice house, but there are coverings like sheets over everything, and there's a very very thin, almost unnoticeable layer of dust on everything.
Okay.
So it's somebody's. It's been a while since
No
anybody's
one's been here.
Don't uncover it. You might have
There
like
are stairs
a portrait
up.
of Dorian Gray or some shit in
There
here.
are stairs up.
let's check it out.
Yeah.
Basically, we want to get into that window.
There's a
that's
study like where you would relax and have coffee or smokes and stuff like that. And there's a huge bay window with like a balcony that looks out over this.
there. Oh wow. So okay, so I would say post up here.
Sure.
Have your cat watch your back.
Yeah, I'll
Big
watch the
cat watch
window.
your back.
The big cat is a large creature. So do you ride it into the building or okay. So you ride this displacer beast into this noble's house,
he's
and you can hear him coming behind you because there's this noise, this cacophony of a displacer beast just knocking everything over.
Well,
and
I tuck her tentacles in so it doesn't.
is Big Cat a girl?
Is she?
Yeah,
is
it's a
she
girl,
house
yeah.
I didn't
trained?
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, Big Cat's doing her best,
Yeah.
but it's not a displacer beast-sized house. So as a result, you can hear the sound of paintings on the walls of the stairs clattering and falling off, and
Okay.
yeah, and so
So
eventually.
stealth is not really Copper's.
Well, I
thing.
think that
I can if we split up, but
yeah, and if you're not trying to squeeze through like narrow places, but this is not typically a
Well, you
place
could have just had her like sit at the bottom of the stairs to make sure nothing sneaks up on you.
They're not like dogs, right?
No, but this is not.
Especially if it's
This is
so
not a
big.
domesticated.
She already
Tiger.
wrecked the place.
This is not a domesticated cat.
Okay.
Like, how cats normally like, fuck this, fuck that thing in particular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? This is kind of like, imagine
That
one
with,
of
like,
those, but
so
like
many more-
huge, right?
not only
Tentacles.
yeah, a cat has 2 hands to knock stuff over.
Yeah,
This
this
has
has 6 legs.
6 legs to
and
knock
2,
stuff
yeah,
over.
it's an octopod, basically. Which is, yeah,
And a big
maybe one
long
has
tail.
squid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, and once it gets up there, you're looking out, going, "This is a good place to set up." Copper, come on up here. And yeah, Copper is literally riding this thing. His head is scraping the ceiling, and he's riding. And the
little.
cat,
I'm pretty little.
the cat sees you, and the cat just kind of plops down, and his tongue goes.
So what do we didn't get to, role play through the meeting with Lady Serial. What do we know about the wards?
You role
other
played.
than-
You asked questions.
I asked questions, but we're here on stream now. What do we know about the wards other than that the arrows are supposed to get through them?
You know that, like, the Chronicle talks about powerful wizards being able to ward themselves, and that the wards happen automatically even if the wizard isn't aware of what's going on. And they're defensive, but they can also do things like, wards can do things like summon creatures. So there are lots of tactics to deal with, but they typically involve a higher level party. Like a lot of the encounters the chain have dealt with in the past 1,000 years that deal with wizards that high, you're typically higher level. And you can do things like you can counter their wards. So it doesn't actually, it sort of assumes that whoever's reading this is high enough level to understand how high level wizards' wards work.
Okay.
But the idea is they're defensive, but they can do things like summon creatures or whatever, and they go off automatically. The person doesn't even have to be aware it's happening.
Do we know if this wizard is traveling like with a party? And if so, who? How many?
Do you know that?
Why are you looking at me?
Because you were the one that talked to Lady Zariel.
I did not talk to Lady Serial. You talked to Lady Serial off screen.
I talked to you guys.
Wait, what was the question?
I was wondering how many, like, if the wizard tends to travel alone, or if the wizard's traveling with like a group, kind of like a posse.
She said he probably will be alone.
Okay.
But there's guards. The church has guards.
I imagine if he's going there trying to shake up the church, that I don't anticipate them running to his aid unless they've just sworn over like fealty, right?
They might.
It's true. You could just see it, like, the mercenaries causing trouble.
Yeah.
So.
I think, we probably would have asked for a description of this guy, right? I mean,
Sure, yeah.
We've never seen him.
Well, we didn't have very long in there.
Yeah.
Matt.
Do we know what he looks like?
Yeah.
That
I
we
mean,
did-
Or
yeah,
I don't know if you have to describe him, but I guess we know.
So yeah,
If
Lady Serial knows exactly what this dude looks like, even though the other people with him were just taking her word for it. But Mortem looks like a nobleman. He dresses in really fine clothes. He has a cape. He has a high-collared cape. And
It's Doctor Strange.
Well, a little. It's a sort of Doctor Strange. And he wears a skull cap. He wears a silver skull cap. And he, is somewhat notoriously sinister looking.
Tim the Enchanter.
That wouldn't happen to be a
Silver skull
similar looking cape from
gonna
a
wake
book
the
that we
dragon.
just
I don't.
released.
It could be. Yeah.
That's yikes.
So what was your question? I missed it.
If it was the cape that we put in the book, and if it's the cape that we put in the book, we're done.
Well, I mean, he's
Spoiler, I don't know.
he's
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I don't
he's
think he's
Ajax.
reading.
He's Ajax the Invincible's wizard.
So he's
So
probably.
he's got lots of magic items, probably.
Yeah.
I
And
think
it can
just
only
be
be
a
attuned to
pushover.
a couple.
I mean, you hit him with one of those arrows.
Does anybody have a dimension door and want to just grab him and jump through and just never see us again?
All right, so
So we know where Gobble. We know Gobble. We know where
Copper.
Copper and Big Cat are going to be. Where the rest of you folks going to be?
All right. What are these other buildings?
They're also noble.
They're all houses.
Yeah.
Noble houses.
So are we doing the?
There's a tavern just right down the street.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
What was the name of the saint for the church?
Saint Clement the Journeyman.
Saint Clement the Journeyman.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a saint of Malus. He's one of the gods of Asloria. He's the god of knowledge and craftsmanship.
So I guess my question: if I try to melee him and wards are still up, do I have a rough idea of what's going to happen?
Somebody said, "I appreciate this as a reference to the Black Company and the ambush of the Limper." As far as I know, that's pure. It's probably subconscious, but otherwise pure coincidence. It was fun having Lars reading the Black Company books and being like, "Okay, they finally killed the Limper," and I was like,
Wait, I haven't made that far.
Ixnay on the Imper leg. All right.
You had your chance.
I'm sorry. What were we talking
You
about?
had a
Wow,
year.
I read
You
the
had a
first
year.
one.
That's true. Oh, it's among the many books you haven't finished. Correct. Yeah.
All right. So
So are we doing the town guard thing?
I'm starting
We're
around the
gonna be-
closer,
You mean
okay?
dress up like them?
Yeah.
Well, how we?
He said that we could have, with
We
the
could've.
time we had leading up to it, that we could have gotten some, so we're not out there conspicuously.
Well,
a
don't
bunch
forget,
of us in.
you guys have junior officers you can rely on. Although this is supposed to be a top secret mission, so they probably should know, depending on how much you want to
Well,
respect.
they wouldn't
that.
know. We'd just say,
They
hey,
probably-
we need some city
exactly.
guard costumes.
So I don't think you guys are going to need this, but I have actually index cards for all of the junior officers.
Oh, sweet.
So they are around,
Yeah.
but I don't expect you to need them in combat.
Nah, that's fine. We just had them grab us some uniforms.
Okay, no problem. I'll take care of that. Yeah.
So you and I can be that. I don't know what you want to do with your guy, Schmuck.
Well, I'm from Vaslorius, so I don't stick out too much.
No, he looks like a native.
I don't have horns coming out of my head
Well, I
or
mean-
a six-tentacled cat beast. So
So am I, but it's us being in our colors. And
I don't know, you
being
look-
around
Yeah.
this area.
That's pretty strange to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
pretty
mean,
weird.
my guy grew up in Black Bottom, so
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Lieutenant? Should I hang outside and flank him?
Yeah, I think we should just get in our guards' uniforms and sort of mosey around.
Mill about, act natural.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Like we'll hang out down here, and then when the bells start ringing, we'll just start walking down
The
the street,
bells!
maybe.
Is this a day of worship? The day that he's coming out
No.
of the temple?
No, it's not. But the hour is a holy hour that
Yeah,
announces
put your guy up the window
a daily
There you go.
is it that window,
ritual.
right? Or that building?
Yeah. it's
Yeah.
a building.
So probably
So when
wanna
the
be
bells
roughly
when the
within
bells
6.
call people to a service. So when the bells ring, people are going to start showing up, and it is not going to be
And
immediate.
Put me.
Is it 6?
Next
It's been
to
so
the-
long since
next
I've
to you,
played.
like, kinda
Movement,
close to
30
you, yeah.
feet is 6 squares.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So
It's been so long. That's right.
It's-
That's
I
right. It's
haven't
only been
played
a
in a
week
long
for you,
time.
Feels like
right? But
forever.
it's been a long time
an
for the other
eternity.
players. It's all right. It's no problem. We're gonna get. There's gonna be a lot of stuff once combat breaks out that people are gonna forget and get wrong, and we're just gonna
So
work
is this
it out.
where
over time.
you're at, Anna? Or
I
are
was
you right
just
here?
while you guys were breaking into that place, I was just at the corner sharpening a knife.
You're gonna be at that corner?
Well,
Well, now we need to figure out where
Yeah.
where
Do
he's
you-
gonna.
Can you be
go.
at this corner and we can have Phil be within? Because this is roughly 6 to get up if we want to, charge the guy. I don't know if we're gonna get surprised or anything like that.
well, the thing is about
I'd be
Judge.
pretty surprised
Well,
if I came out of a church and someone started
I
shooting
mean,
with
this
magic
is-
arrows.
And
this is
Magic
Ajax
elf
City,
arrows,
so
ancient
he's-
elf arrows.
am I waiting from a signal from the commander or someone, or am I just
I
No,
gonna?
think
when
it's
you
gonna
see
be
him,
when he
just
comes
shoot him.
out
When
that
you have a
door.
good
Like
shot.
when you
Like
have a
see
clear
him.
When you
shot,
get a
take
shot.
it, and
Yeah.
that's
Got
what's gonna trigger us
Okay.
trying to do something.
Cool.
People
Done.
are worried that people remember my NetHack run. That is a amazingly successful NetHack run that started when I ate my pet cat, and they're afraid that that's going to happen to Big Cat.
No.
Maybe.
Pet cat and big cat's gonna. I don't. It'll be a big meal.
Because the thing about, like, I mean, you guys can kind of tell this from his appearance, but Judge is a kind of intimidating guy. So also, Judge can definitely carry himself nobly. So if the bells start ringing and if it's about to be church time, well, no, that'd be really unusual. He wouldn't go to church there.
If you wanted to
Well, I'll tell
walk
you that
towards
Saint
him.
Clement the Journeyman and the god that he is a saint of are both super neutral gods.
Okay.
Like they are. He is a god of craftsmanship, right? And Saint Clement is the god of apprentices. Is a saint of apprentices. So it's not. You're not going to get any kind of like forbiddance from
Okay.
this. You're not
I'm
going
not
to
gonna get like. I'm not gonna like. Immolate.
No, you're not going to self-immolate. You're not going to. There's not going to be any sense of like good or evil coming from this church.
Okay.
From Judge's point of view, it's going to be a completely neutral place.
Yeah, because the thing is, if
It's
I
one of the reasons it's still standing.
because the only thing is I'm worried about is like if I grab him and try to do something to him and the wards fire off, that might be bad news for me.
Well, we definitely need him to start with the arrows because the arrows are what are going to take down the wards. So we can't we're going to get fucking wrecked if we do anything before an arrow hits. So if Tom misses, we're kind of in trouble.
I'm going to get my
I never
water.
noticed.
I'll be right back.
yeah.
Oh, get me some water too.
Well, I'll do my best I can.
Well, maybe. So then maybe. Either Judge could be like sort of around the corner on
Around the
the side
side.
on the side of the thing. Could be inside like the front door and brush out the front door.
Well, I guess let's take one step backwards. Your accustomed thing, I have no idea what you can do. So
I punch the fuck out of
you
shit.
punch things, but like what? So like, say you're gonna come in and get an attack. What is the thing that you're gonna do to make you be the most effective?
In his face.
Geez. Like I said, I'm gonna punch the shit out of this asshole.
But like, so for here I'll start. I'm gonna go up and I'm a battle master, so I'm gonna use one of my maneuvers, which is goading attack, to try to get him to focus on me. So you guys can get advantage, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's my best option. I
That's
think.
cool because if we can set it up so that I have advantage, then I can do haymakers, which will give me maximum die damage.
Okay.
But
Is
I
it
get
a
I get
D4
I get
or
I
are
get
you higher than a D4
no
with the-
D8.
D8. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I get disadvantage on haymakers, but we could cancel it out. I get
With it. Okay.
yeah.
What's your chance to hit with your punches? Like a 7?
I got a +8.
+8. That's pretty good.
Yeah. My guy also I can do 3 punches, I believe.
Wow.
Because
Nice.
I get an extra attack. I can attack twice instead of once whenever you take attack action. And then I also have, where's it at? The old 1/2.
There's a couple of
Yeah, be careful with that.
I might be able to do 4? No, 3.
Well, so Tom, what do we have
Immediately
for
after
you?
you-
Like, what can
So-
we do anything to improve your chance to
I
hit?
was just
You
gonna-
don't have
yep.
a bard.
No, I
you
was-
don't have
let
a
me-
cleric again.
I was just gonna mention it.
Okay, so go ahead.
So, part of my what are we calling it? I don't know. The custom class that Matt made
Oh,
for me.
Beast Conclave?
Yeah. Well, that's
right?
that's the.
I don't know.
Okay.
Being a weird ranger. Weird ranger.
Yeah.
I just was
Beast
calling it
Boy.
Monster Tamer. But
Yeah, monster tamer. Yeah.
So yeah, I could be wrong, but I think I can do 4.
Okay.
4.
Well, so first we got to
That's cool.
focus on how can Tom hit him.
So if
what can you do?
so one of the abilities that I have is Keen Eye. If I don't move on my turn, as a bonus action, I can make a Wisdom check against an enemy, and if I get that if I get 1 mark on him, I'll get advantage on my next attack. Can I do that in the same turn?
Yeah, it's a bonus action.
So I could do
So
the
as long,
bonus
as
action.
long as you don't move,
Yeah.
you can use your bonus action to mark the guy.
So
And
when it
then
com-
you can immediately shoot him with your action.
if I make this.
Yeah,
If
but
I
then
get it.
but then you're correct.
So if I do that, just 1 mark, I can get advantage on him.
That's awesome.
and my thing's
That'd be
melee
useful.
attack, so I can't give you an extra attack. So that's a bummer.
That is a bummer, man.
I
Yeah.
do have 2 attacks.
Probably
Oh, you. Oh,
I have
you
2
cut-
attacks.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you
Yeah, you
can
guys are
fire
fifth
2
level.
arrows. Yeah, we're 5th level. Duh.
The first one will have an advantage if I make the save,
Correct.
and then the
But
second one
that
will.
consumes the mark.
Yeah.
I definitely need
Right.
to be within 30 feet of this guy to be able to do, I think, almost all of my stuff.
So if you're here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're 1 or 2 away from the door.
Well, maybe I should be over by the pillar, kind of over in your direction, kind of opposite of how
Like chilling
Nails and
Here.
yeah, just chilling,
This is, I'm
chilling
just
like
gonna-
a villain.
Leaning against
Try to get
that
that on the
post,
square
flipping
better.
a coin.
Yeah, I just got the leg, the heel kicked up on it.
Yeah.
Picking your nails.
Okay, so
or
With the little
with
knife.
a knife.
Yeah.
Tom will fire the
Nails, too.
arrow.
Mhm.
You're gonna try to get up close. We're gonna try to get advantage. Schmuck, what are you gonna do when he comes out the door?
Well, we'll see what happens. I think I need to wait until one of these arrows hits.
Well, no, absolutely. It's gonna be that we're gonna plan to. Basically, we're gonna set up our action. So he comes out the door. Tom gets a shot, and Tom taking a shot is gonna be what?
I don't
It's just an
have,
act kind of
unfortunately,
thing, so
I don't have. You'd think I would, but my mini collection is somewhat random. I don't have peasant minis. But these guys are just random.
Peasants are armed.
You do have guards, though.
Yeah, but there's not this many guards. So these are just random peasants. There's actually a guy setting up a cart right here selling apples.
not cabbages.
Right there.
I'm eyeing those apples
Not
right now.
not cabbages. Yeah,
Setting up, or is he selling?
he's setting up. He's getting ready for the bells to ring and people to show up.
All right.
Yeah, if this were a
We should walk
Keystone
up,
Cops
walk
movies,
up
there'd
to
be
the
somebody walking around
apples
with a big pane
and
of
just
glass.
We
like,
know
chatting
we
with
know
them.
Loitering?
We
Yeah.
know
Loitering
do
with
we,
his
do we know
peasant?
the hand sign
I thought it was
thing?
kerning, but I'm like,
Is that-
I'm pretty
I
sure
thi-
that's
I-
Go
well,
around
systems.
go around the other
That's all
side.
him,
That
though.
way you don't gotta.
I think what I said
Oh.
was
I can
if
fix
you
it.
guys are
You know
willing
what
to
I mean?
each of you
Yeah.
sacrifice
I
on
just happened to
language,
see
then
it
yeah.
highlighted.
Let's,
so
Okay.
I read it.
But I don't know if you did that.
I did.
I did.
You did?
Did
So,
What, for chain speak?
Yeah.
so now you guys have. So,
Yeah, I did.
So if you sacrificed a language,
Uh-huh.
then you guys know the secret language of the chain, which
I
is
did.
like hand it's like
Hand
Change
signs,
speak.
yeah.
sign language.
Do you know it?
So you guys can communicate
Chain sign.
chain signs.
Yeah, that's
So you
right.
guys can communicate non-verbally, and literally nobody else
Can you see me right
understand.
now? Nails? Can Nails? He could see me right now, probably right in the window.
You know.
Well, are you hiding?
I stick my head out for a second,
Okay.
and I chain sign to Nails to get me an apple. I've been.
So I haven't eaten all night. It's 6 o'clock.
I'm hungry, man.
Starving.
Just let me up here.
Nails, do you get him an apple?
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Well, I think
got
we
some
should be
more
timing.
important things on my
We should
mind
be
right
timing
now.
Well-
our walk up to the apple cart like as close to when he's going to come out as possible, so it doesn't, so that the apple guy is.
So
like, "Why
we
you
are
guys
minutes
standing around me?"
away from
Yeah.
6 a.m.
Okay, so we know what I'm gonna do. We know what Phil's gonna do. We know what Tom's gonna do. What are you gonna do, Tom? No, we know not you.
Oh,
Tom.
me. Sorry.
Tom, not Tom.
Okay, got it.
Nails.
I knew that. Was
Is
just
the name.
Nails,
His
not
nickname,
copper.
rather. As soon as his wards are down, I'm just going to start unleashing hell.
Well, but
You heard
you're not
him.
gonna let us know what you're gonna do so we can plan around it.
I mean, I'm just going to start throwing fireballs out.
Fireballs.
Like with the necklace?
Fire bolts. If it comes to that, I got the necklace.
Firebolts.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we
was
should,
like
we should
fireballs.
get you the spell card for fireballs.
No, it's firebolt.
Well, I'm
Well,
talking
he
about
has
the
the
necklace.
He's got the
Yeah.
necklace of
Yeah, we
fireballs
can
now.
figure that out.
So just
Right.
FYI, this is one of the first times Tom has ever played D&D at all.
That's why I
Right.
suggest getting
So it's not, don't be surprised if there's miscommunication and we're figuring stuff out. That's normal.
For sure.
Okay, well, I guess.
I think
I'm gonna
guess
give him a little gift whenever he comes out after the words go down.
a little gift.
What does that mean?
What
A
flowers?
little halo.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, I know what that does.
All right.
Well, I mean, they've seen this before. What is it you're talking about doing?
Burning halo. I gift an enemy with a fiery halo that infects their mind with infernal thoughts, causing them to see allies as enemies. So I choose a creature, and they have to succeed on a charisma saving throw against me, which good luck. And then while under my sway, a halo of fire floats above their head. And they have to use, I basically use my action, and I am them, and they are just using their action to attack people they perceive as allies. So it's kind of like a confusion / mind control thing.
I like how it's
Nice.
gift.
Mind
It's
control!
A
Yeah.
present. Here you go.
Yep. It's a fiery little halo.
So you were an Illrigger?
Yes.
Are you
I'm
guys-
an Overger with a fighting style of lies.
Oh, yeah, which fighting style did you take?
Lies.
And is that the two-handed one?
Yeah, I use
Nice.
a great sword, and I'm able to
guy's
use my bonus.
Guys
my
got some good art for this.
Yeah.
That's Hazenauer.
That's Hasenauer. Actually, it's
Well,
Hasenauer.
Hazenauer.
Wait, Hasenauer did that?
That's Hasenauer doing,
Hasenauer's
a,
not- Oh, it's
doing a
not
modifying of
Yeah.
a concept doppelganger.
It's not
Yeah,
that
concept
good.
doppelganger.
Take it back.
Yeah, I'm really happy with Overger.
Hold on, I have a quick question for Tom. Sorry, I'm gonna. Tom, who does this look like to you?
Who does that look like to
Me,
you?
Tom.
Yeah.
God dang it.
Wait, what?
Who is it?
It's Hasenauer.
No, what?
No, sorry.
Who does that
That
look
looked
like
like
to you? Phil? Who does that
Hasenauer.
look like to you?
No. Okay, who's it? Let me see. Let's see if you get it. I had an immediate
I
reaction. to it.
I thought it looked like Hasenauer. for a
If you
second.
zoom
Who's
in
it
on
look
it,
like?
I thought it looked like Billy the Blue Ranger from Power Rangers.
Oh, that's.
I thought it looked like I thought it looked like
I
Tom
pulled
that's
Hanks.
so not
Brand.
relevant
I thought it looked like
anymore.
Loki,
Nobody
the guy that
knows
plays
what that
Loki.
guy's face
Oh,
looks
yeah.
like.
I was
It's
like, that looks just like
forgettable.
Loki.
Huh.
But
Billy.
Lars sees Power Rangers everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I see
Pokemon.
Power Rangers.
Anyway, what the hell are we talking about? All
I
right.
don't know.
Are you guys set up where you want to be?
Yeah,
We're
we're
all
all
set.
set up.
All right,
You got the
bells.
apples?
The bells ring.
Hasn't
Really?
still here?
Oh, I didn't actually.
Can I refill my water?
Do you need to? Yeah, go right
Yeah,
ahead.
I kinda need to.
So you don't need to ask permission. You got to do what you gotta do.
Can I use the bathroom?
Does everybody?
I'm glad Jason was still here to hear me.
Yeah.
To hear my.
Like, ooh, this is really nice. Who did this, Jason? Oh, actually, it's kind of crap. Now that
Tell you what, I've got a pretty beefy deception bonus, so as I walk by, I'm just gonna give him one of the old. Oh, what's that? And pocket
I just
it.
pocket
Thank you.
an
I
apple.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
You're gonna.
He's gonna steal an apple that he could pay
good
for.
thing- it's
He's
good
got
thing
plenty of
I'm-
money. But he just wants to steal
thing I'm
it
on
just
the
to
other
prove that he
side.
can.
I have a disguise
Humans.
kit. I forgot about that.
Cart's not
Right.
open yet. Doesn't have time to like barter with the guy.
I'll wait for Lars to get back. But the bell
Probably
ring.
gonna do.
Plus, we're about to attack a wizard, so
He is the commander.
this guy's probably
Yeah, like a
toast
badass
anyway.
wizard too.
Shouldn't have parked his cart so
Yeah.
close to where there's about to be a wizard battle.
That's true. That's what he gets. He'll
Yeah.
he won't make that mistake again. Yeah. When everyone in town's turned into a bunch of bunnies, he'll be like, "This is what I get." So we're just gonna wait for Lars to get back. So the answer to the question, Lars, can I go refill my water? Is no.
I need to make spell cards for all
And
these.
then crazy shit is gonna go down. Stand by.
Can I ask a question while we're waiting?
No.
So it says, do not move in your turn. You may use your bonus action to make a wisdom perception check against an enemy. The DC is 8 plus enemy's hit die. If you are successful, you have marked degree. So how? I'm actually confused how. So
Let me
it's
see
8.
what this is. Because it maybe that sounds like something combined from something else.
No, that's the Kenai.
I'm so jealous that you guys were actually able to use the character cheats. The autopilot
Oh no,
So-
I had to.
So you don't know what the DC is? That's normal.
Okay.
Like when you attack somebody,
Yeah,
you
like
don't know what
this,
the armor class
whenever
is.
I was, oh
Right.
no, this is
Right,
different.
yeah,
I tried
unless
to
you
use
do
the
a
one
lot
that I
of
think you were using,
So
and I was trying to
the
if you
nastier
calculate
something is,
the
less likely it is your ability is going to
automatically,
work.
and I
Sure.
was just like,
But what is it?
And then I
Is
was
it
trying to
saving
do
against a
something,
number
and
I
it just
have? Is it
froze.
comparing? What is it? The numbers?
Well, you.
Yeah, I took the.
You make a roll.
the
You make a
D&D
wisdom perception check, and you tell me the
actual
result.
Wizards one.
Oh, I
and
make
basically
it.
took
Got it.
in
You make a wisdom
and
perception
if mine is
check.
higher
Ripped
than
it all
their
apart.
DC plus
Correct.
8. Then they got it.
Basically, think of it this way: like it's their level. The higher level they are, the harder it is for your thing to work.
yeah,
It didn't auto
Got it.
or
Okay.
anything.
yeah.
I'm so spoiled.
You got
by the
this.
auto.
So I saw, of course.
So
It's all on you,
Yeah.
Tom.
I tried to use.
Sorry,
here's
it's
the
all
thing.
on you, cop.
Here's
Not
the
a
thing.
sweat.
even if that doesn't work, even if this guy is too high level, which is entirely likely, even if this guy is way too high level for that ability to work, you're still the best archer in the chain.
Yeah.
Do you remember wizards use int or whiz?
They use int.
That's a shame. Why isn't it whiz for wizards?
Why is it? It's a good question. Why isn't it whiz for
Yeah,
wizards?
that's fine.
Yeah, yeah. And 5 for
Nice.
fighters, you know, and
Yeah.
war for warlocks.
So I think we're ready.
The bells ring.
Yeah.
All right.
Ding dong.
I apologize for the crudity of the model. I didn't have time. Actually, I
Yeah,
did
no.
You had time to
I
build
did
it to
have
scale.
I did have, as it turns out, I did have time to build it to scale and get it painted. So the doors open after the bells ring, and a priest comes out in the raiments of Saint Clement the Journeyman. You give me a look. What?
I'm just listening
Okay.
raptly.
Okay. And someone very closely matching the description of Ajax's archwizard Mortem walks out, and he and the priest are smiling and having wrapping up some kind of conversation. And he notices the apple cart, and it's like he's like, why don't we go get an apple? And Mortem kind of claps his hand on the priest's shoulder, and the priest kind of, but then pretends like, yeah, let's sure, yeah, please don't kill me.
We're waiting
And
for you to take a shot, Tom.
and they're gonna go buy apples unless somebody does something.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if we're waiting for.
No, we're waiting for you.
So I
Waiting
assume,
for you
I
to-
assume
Yeah.
that you're ready in action.
Yeah.
That you're sitting there.
I was sitting in the window.
Okay. So then that means it's initiative.
Okay.
I'm gonna sneak attack.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, my stuff's all over the place. I need a little table too.
That's not great.
I got a 14.
Which dice do I want to use?
So who got the highest? Because we should probably
We
swap.
give it to Tom.
Yeah, give it to Tom.
So I just want to point out the dice I have really quick.
Yes, I would love to see them.
They're made out of copper.
Oh, look at that! Copper's dice are made out of copper.
That's
great.
great.
Nice.
I'm so proud of you.
Those are cool. Where'd you get them?
Oh,
Is it level up?
level
next?
up. Yeah, level up.
Nice.
All right, do it.
By the way, my plan was to play for like an hour and a half, take a break, play for like an hour and a half.
Okay.
But I'm not. We don't necessarily have to. Where are the post-its?
Plus. That's an
I got 15.
15 also.
So I'm
Entree.
17.
17. So I think he has the highest. So we probably want to make sure Tom goes first.
Yep. So I will use my reaction as a senior officer.
Well,
to-
yeah, stand by. Because his thing's going to happen immediately. Like, as soon as this
okay.
guy walks out, his ready to action is going to fire.
Can he
Right,
do this
and
at any
then-
point?
So before initiative, he
Yeah,
is
correct.
getting a.
Correct.
Yeah.
he gets a free
He
shot.
gets to go first anyway.
Basically.
I see. I see.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And then things are going to... And you guys have surprise. And I forget how surprise works in 5th edition. I think...
Consult the chat.
Yeah, I think... Well, let me say what I think it's...
Actually, I
you guys have advantage on attacks, I think is what it boils down to. And I think maybe they don't get to act, but I don't remember. But I'm keen to... I'm sure somebody watching knows how it works. And I figure... I can see the Discord! People are typing!
Oh crap! I have ever
Oh,
vigilant.
you guys all just get a free round of combat. Okay, fair enough. That's,
I have
that's a lot. I
advantage
thought it...
on
Yeah.
initiative rolls.
I think
Oh, cool.
the
Roll
advantage
20.
thing makes me think of Pathfinder, where you catch them flat-footed.
Yeah, well, they don't have that
14.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you get for initiative, Tom?
17.
That's a sharp
Sorry,
set
I'll-
of dice. Are those precision?
Stand by.
Yes.
Nice.
What did the commander get?
Game science, baby.
I got a 9.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can use these dice Ross gave me. I don't know. Super great. No, 19 there. Okay.
And copper?
It's 2 1s.
15. 15.
Sorry, I just started using this post-it note system in OD&D, and it turned out to be really useful.
It's a good idea.
Anner?
15.
Yeah.
Did you all get your spell cards?
Yeah, I'm looking over there. And I see you.
Well, you have a lot of spells that there's no cards for.
That's true. Also,
You have a lot of
that's why I
unique-
was like, I need spell cards for those
I'm
because
super curious. I
can
hope
make 'em,
people
though.
have had access to the Ilriger document now.
I think they
I'm
do.
super
So
curious
I
to
think
see what
somebody-
people think.
Yeah. So I think somebody tweeted at me saying, "Cool class."
Oh, neat.
I was just like,
Phil.
Yes.
Man, I'm really glad we're playing D&D again.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
super fucking glad we're doing this. I'm suddenly overwhelmed. Okay.
With gladness.
Yeah, just like I think the air conditioning just kicked on, and so it's cool
Yeah.
in here. And it's like, yay! So yeah, what was your initiative?
14.
14. Okay, all right.
That's like a bottle. It's a metal bottle.
Tis.
Well, a few water bottles are actually made out of water.
But it just shows the stats of characters and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's really cool.
Look at that. How badass is... Oh, also, I forgot to thank Mary McLean for the overlay. This is all art from Strongholds and Followers. So it's not, obviously it's not themed for the chain. It's from our book. I think if it were themed for the chain, it would be super like...
You have to thank Jess too.
Yeah,
Jess
and also
was-
Jess, yeah, no, 100%. Jess took that and turned it into an overlay with some help. I think,
Lady
from
Serial
Jerry.
Jess.
Yeah, the Lady Serial's original player helped us take our book's layout and turn it into a stream overlay, which I think is dope as hell. And I'm looking at it right now, and I'm just super fucking impressed
So pretty.
with how and Jerry got all the animations to work and everything.
Hey, there I am.
And
Yeah.
people are suggesting stuff. I'm seeing this in chat already. People are saying, "Oh, it'd be nice to see like the names on the characters and all that stuff." We will do all that stuff. We listen to your suggestions. This is our first stream doing this. The next one will be better, and the one after that will be better, and then and then if anybody's still watching, you'll notice a lot of improvements. All right, so I'm going to give you a free, like you get to go,
Okay.
and then initiative's going to happen.
Use my
So go ahead and do what you're going to do, Copper.
So as my bonus action,
It's weird. I was like, yeah, Copper, come on, do what you're going to do.
oh copper.
Yeah, you can't catch me, Copper.
Yeah. I will use my bonus action, Keen Eye,
Yep. Okay, you're going to make a, so
perception, wisdom perception.
I'm going to give you advantage on this because he does not know that you're there.
Okay, so I roll 2.
Yep.
I'll roll 1 and then the other. Nope, that's not good. 15.
20.
Plus 19.
19.
Wait, 19? You rolled a 15. Don't you
What
have,
about bonuses?
don't you have plus 5 on your...
Perception?
Why?
This would be to hit, I think, right? Or
No, this is
No,
just
this
a
is
perception
perception.
check.
This is
Oh,
perception.
sorry.
This is just a
Sorry.
perception
Yeah.
check.
I was thinking it was
Sorry.
an attack.
My
No,
fault.
no, no. Not yet.
So it was your total. So if that would mean he would have, it would work if he were like 11th level. It's weird the way he. You don't seem to get any kind
Can't.
of
I
weak.
study him,
You know,
but-
he's somehow moving in such a way that does not present weak points to you. You can still shoot him and still
Yeah,
hit
sure.
him, but he hasn't made it. It's combat hasn't started yet, so you haven't seen how he behaves in combat.
Yeah.
So you haven't got a read on where exactly is the best place to shoot him at.
Okay.
Heart.
Well, you know.
Is he a human?
Yes, Mortem. As far as you know, Mortem is a human. So yeah, you can't. It doesn't. He seems like you're not getting a read on him.
Okay. I will shoot him.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like is this the right thing? I mean,
Yeah. Well, this
The first
is actually a pretty standard ambush.
Got
Like if we were the fact that this is the start of the campaign and this is kind of an end boss that you're about to shoot.
yeah, I know. I feel
These
like I'm not ready
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, well, it's
Okay.
you know,
I
but
believe in you,
We've
Tom.
done this hundreds of times, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
I
you
mean, yeah,
probably
that's
have.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've done
Remember
it.
that time you
never
shot
target-
that guy with the
Oh
arrow?
yeah, I remember that time.
It's
You've
just
been
like
to
that.
hell and back.
Yeah.
You have literally been. Well, you've been to the alloy. You've been to-
I have been to hell.
Have you? Nice.
I think. Okay.
We all get to go as a tourist.
I'll be the tour guide.
So he doesn't know you're there. I would say considering this is a surprise attack, this would
Also
be advantage anyway.
So this is just my normal hit.
Yeah. So I mean, it may be that just keen eye is something that doesn't really become useful until combat starts. So in a situation like this, where
Got
you
it.
already have a drop on him, you already have
Yeah.
advantage.
Okay. So now I'm using my ward arrow.
You're the red arrow.
The red arrow. Yeah.
I
Or sorry,
wanted
not
to
the
get
ward
actual
arrow. but
red
the-
arrow props, but
Oh,
I'm stupid. I'm not clever enough to.
oh, I've got 5 of those right. Okay, so I'm gonna.
Wait. So I have a question.
Yes.
Who has those 5 arrows?
Me.
You have all 5 of them?
I have one.
Oh, you do?
Because I can
Sorry.
shoot a longbow.
Write that
Worst
shit
case
down in your
scenario.
character sheets
I have 4.
because this is going to become important.
I have a crossbow. So, would I have taken one? Would you have given me
No,
one,
you
Captain?
can't use
I
it.
don't-
Crossbows fire bolts.
Ah, there you go.
Write that down.
They're like that long.
Sorry, what are they called? Ward
You
arrows?
just snap it in half.
They're called. They're just called the red arrows.
Okay.
I have one. I never said I know how to use it. but- if it ever comes in handy.
I feel like maybe Go Juice is overkill for how amped I am.
Yeah.
Fire heart attack. I hope you guys know what
I'm
to do.
drinking mine and I'm just like.
Okay, I'm gonna use 1.
All right.
Oh my gosh. Nope. Let me roll the next one. So far, these aren't doing
Well,
so
that's,
well for me.
you
What's
said
that?
you have advantage.
Yeah,
right?
he's
I have
rolling
advantage,
that
so I'm
one.
rolling
He's
that
rolling
one.
the other one.
That one's a little better.
Yikes.
21.
21. Well, that would certainly hit. Stand by. So at this point, several things happen in rapid succession.
Okay.
Yep, we did that. So the arrow, you all see the red arrow go like a dart and smack into Mortem's shoulder and spin him around for a second. And the Bishop of St. Clement the Journeyman freaks out and takes a step back. But then it seems almost as though Mortem changes. And his cloak and his finery start to transform, almost like there was like armor underneath. No ward seems to go off. But the process of this armor revealing itself continues until eventually you realize he is literally transforming himself in front of you. And it's not Mortem, it's somebody else. It's a brass dragon man.
What?
That is not the right mini. But it's a large, not literally large, not large as in a D&D large, but a huge dragonborn paladin, brass skin.
So it's that dude that
That's the dude that killed the other, that killed
killed the king.
King Omen's
Yeah.
wizard. So does he have that sword? Does his sword look like our?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got this kind of
Yeah, can you
this-
guys catch me up?
this black.
Well.
So we all know this, but
Sure.
this is the guy who killed Good King Omen's. His version of this wizard.
Didn't he kill?
Oh,
So
because
his,
he's
like,
bronze.
staff
He's
wizard
a
or whatever.
bronze
Oh,
dragon
okay.
man
He
versus
killed
the
the
blue
king.
dragon phalanx.
Yeah,
Just
but he
a
was
wizard.
one that
Well,
was.
there was dragon phalanxes of every color, but he is the one who betrayed the others.
Is it because there's only one bronze one?
No, there was a whole bronze dragon flight,
Oh.
and they hate this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's like a defector.
Yep.
Okay.
We need to get our buddies from the last campaign.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
well, so he's got this huge smile on his face, right? And he looks right up to the window.
It's a decoy.
But before anything else can happen, the sun goes out.
Oh, jeez.
It gets dark
Okay.
because this giant
Okay.
structure
Oh God.
that blocks out the sun goes, and it makes a sound like it's a sound you'll never forget.
Yeah.
It makes a sound it's just like, whoa. And there's this massive floating city hovering over Black Bottom that is casting the shadow. It takes a couple of seconds for your eyes to adjust, and you realize, oh, the sun's not out. It's just that we can't see it right now. And from this floating citadel
Okay.
come hundreds of giant hawks with riders on them.
Oh, those guys. Hate
These
those guys.
fuckers.
Yep.
Holy crap.
And poop. Wow. I have one of those. I think it's Paizo makes them,
Yeah.
the floating platforms. It's right over there. I
Oh,
forgot
Did
to
you
set
say
it up.
hundreds?
Hundreds of giant eagles with
hawk
people
Whoa.
these
on them
spiders.
come streaming out of this giant citadel. I mean, this thing could be as large as Black Bottom. It's hard to see how big it is from down here. You're just looking at the underside with dirt and stone. There are
Yeah.
roots and stuff growing out from underneath it. But
I don't think our sneak attack worked, guys.
No, this is not.
I chain sign.
So much for us. Yeah.
We're
What the
screwed.
fuck?
This is not the guy. We need to get the fuck out of here.
appearing, around here, up here about, what is that, 60 feet up in the air,
Uh-huh.
is a figure you have only heard described.
Whoa.
What?
Holy fuck.
Well,
Holy shit. Oh,
Is that,
man.
wait, is that Ajax?
I don't think you've ever seen Ajax the Invincible, but that Saint Ajax now, but that certainly matches the description. He has huge wings that beat slowly and give him the flight that he has. He is basically as you see him. He has blonde hair. He's got blue eyes. He has kind of a Philip of Macedon look to him.
the cape's a bit
Shoot
much.
that guy.
Shoot that guy.
Yeah.
And as he descends, this is the cutscene, by the way. I apologize for interrupting your combat, but this is the setup. As he descends, everyone in the area is overwhelmed. All the citizens, many of them are cowering. Some of them have fallen to their knees, unsure of what's going on. The bishop of St. Clement is looking up at Ajax, and Ajax sees him and sees Mandrake and looks back at the bishop and says, "Again, the peace that I have sacrificed so much to bring is disturbed." And he looks at the bishop and says, "Bishop Ives, I know you had nothing to do with this. Your life will be spared. your church, on the other hand, and the Hawk Lords fly over, and each of these giant hawks is carrying a massive, like, super cannonball. And they each just drop cannonball after cannonball after cannonball, and they smash into the church. And it basically disintegrates. Huge pieces of masonry go flying off. Pieces of glass go shattering everywhere. The buildings over here all fall apart.
So they're just big metal bowling balls that they're dropping?
Yeah, but they're massive.
Okay.
And there's dozens of them. Yeah, they're like, artillery fire, like
Right.
World War I level artillery fire coming out of this thing. And thanks to Anna, I have a prop for this.
Nice. What the? Look at that.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Anna, where did you get these?
I got them from a guy named, I don't think it's picking up. His name's
He's
Bud,
picking
Actually,
and he has a
he
website.
is over here.
I think it's called Bud's Blasters.
Is this you, Lars?
That's
me.
pretty cool. They look like little sparks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
looks like
it's
it's
an explosion.
It's supposed to be like napalm.
Yeah,
So
it looks like a little
supposed to
explosion. It's got little
be
fiber. I don't know if people on the stream can see it, but it's got little fiber optic stuff.
Yeah.
And let's see. You see the church being demolished, these buildings being destroyed, and Ajax's voice seems supernaturally loud. Like everybody in this entire city block can hear him when he speaks. And as the church is disintegrating, he says, "Rebellions are so tedious, but they must be taken seriously." And he makes a gesture with the jade hand. This is his turn. He is using his surprise round.
Surprise on surprise.
Yeah.
Inception.
Can't surprise the surprisee.
Welcome to D&D, Tom.
No.
What the heck is
Oh
that?
boy.
What the hell is that?
Oh, Jesus.
And he summons.
Oh my god.
He uses the jade hand and the swirling vortex. In fact, it looks a lot like the Hunger of Hadar, except instead of cold and stars, it's hell. The swirling. Jesus, look how fucking big that thing is.
Look at its blood and guts.
That's an
Oh.
awesome mini.
It's dope. Yeah, it's a dope ass mini.
Holy
Again,
shit.
Blues Light Painting. I know that when the stream starts, there's a whole bunch of people watching,
it's so
and then over
gross.
time they're like, "Oh, it's just a bunch of nerds playing D&D." I hope you stuck around for this, because this is it's all downhill from here, folks. This is dope as hell.
What mini is that? Is that like a nerd?
I think it's a Forge World mini, or it's some kind of.
okay,
It's some
yeah.
company that makes. I don't remember. It's some company that makes
Looks like
Warhammer substitutes,
Warhammer, yeah, like-
painted by our friend Blues Light Painting. This swirling vortex and he's literally like that big, opens over about 30 feet in the air, and from it is deposited with this huge, all its fat jiggling this giant demon. You smell brimstone and fire, and you can hear for a moment as the thing opens these howling souls before it goes and closes up.
Fucking demons, man.
And Ajax says, "Relg, do something about this, will you?" And the demon is in the middle of eating something, intestines or kind of. It's like, "Okay, boss." He's like, "You got any preference?" And Ajax is like, "Dealer's choice." And a creature, when summoned, gets to act.
Of course they
And he's going to attack somebody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You got a 5-sided die back there?
I don't, but I'm gonna reroll. I'm gonna reroll sixes. But I assume I'm gonna make an executive decision. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's rude.
Well, yeah,
You're the commander.
you are the commander. So
You're
he
the big
turns
God.
and he attacks.
I got an 18, but he's huge, so I'm
He is
probably
huge.
still bone.
I had an AC of 34.
Well,
We're not fighting this, right? We're
Relg
no, we need to run.
You're probably
Relg
running,
reaches
right?
out, and it looks almost as though the hand that he has, that has just all these entrails and stuff, it's almost as though the entrails itself are what are wrapping around the commander.
Oh no.
And hang on a second. I do not have enough d8s for this damage. I need more d8s.
Oh my god, look at like his.
It's got a little
It's all pimply and
butt warts.
Yes. Yeah. The
Did you just say butt warts?
Yeah, it's got butt
You
warts.
gotta-
That is
you gotta
not
try
a
to take
word
that
I
area
thought I would
from
use
me.
to say on
He's
my
got
stream.
warts all over
That's
his
not me
assy
sounding.
genitalia.
Well, you don't want me to do compel the credulous?
You-
There's
He
no
just
way.
rolled a 34 to hit.
That's a 34 to hit, but the thing is, I mean,
Anna, we
it's
can't hit
also-
that guy. We literally cannot hit that guy. We're level 5.
Fucking-
We
Yeah.
I
can't hit-
actually,
Fucking hate demons.
I actually critted.
No, you
What?
didn't.
Nah.
I did,
Why are you rolling then?
because you roll damage twice.
Oh, okay. I thought you just took.
No.
Yeah. Okay, that's an old edition.
That's an old edition. Oh my god, this is gonna take so long. Stand by.
Well, it was a good stream, guys.
Don't worry. There's definitely a very slim chance you'll survive.
We'll see you again in a year.
How many dice did you roll?
I'm not done.
This was for just one.
I'm not done.
What is this, like a demon lord
I'm
or
not done.
something?
Well, it's something like
He's
that.
got it
Oh, that's a
named.
lot of
It's a
8s.
named NPC. Not good.
Relg.
I'm gonna start
Oh,
inquiring
right,
as to how the apple cart business is doing.
I'm a simple apple seller.
Yeah, right.
You take 40 points of damage.
Alright, I have 4 hit points.
Yay, you're still alive. You survived.
Holy shit, you're still alive?
All right.
Wait, hold on. When
So
can
people are running, screaming. But it's now your actions. Anna, what does Judge do?
Oh, it's my turn?
Yep. So, FYI, the commander is grappled and lifted, and he's being crushed by these entrails that twist and screw around him. And you can see his head sticking out as one of them wraps itself around his neck. You can see one arm sticking out, but he doesn't appear to have a lot of motion.
Anna, I need to get you that arrow so you can take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super glad the commander has one of the arrows.
Yeah.
I'm sure you are. I think I've got to do...
I wonder if the arrows would work on the demon.
That's what.
They were made for the wizard though. They're to take
Yeah,
down
that's what I'm
wizards,
thinking.
Not,
I don't think I would use it on anyone else because it's for.
like
his-
the only
his
information
spells.
we got is that they were to take down his wards. I mean, we
Yeah.
could try it, but we got 4.
I don't wanna
And our
waste it.
contract is to kill that guy. We can't.
I have a question about
Wizard.
my
We
class.
We already lost one because it's on him. So, oh, sorry.
Oh, hey, Matt.
Yeah, somebody in chat was like, the lieutenant, what, is 4 hit points? Yeah. Phil, your 4 hit points, this is what we just got from chat. You are 4 hit points away from a battlefield promotion. That's how many hit points, that's how many hit points he has left.
Oh, boy.
That's
Oh.
kind of promotion.
From a field promotion.
I don't want to be in charge.
And then we all rise in rank. Sorry. Yes, Judge.
So, quick question. So, for my baleful... Do you say interdict?
Interdict, yeah.
So, interdict.
Not interdict, that's a completely different thing. Yes, interdict.
Say it again.
Interdict,
Interdict?
yeah.
Okay, not... Okay. So, I use my
Not
bonus...
interdict, it means to get, it means to stop
So,
something.
I'm gonna-
It means to get in the way of something.
Okay.
I'm gonna interject. I'm the commander. Anna, you need to get
You
the
mean
fuck out of there.
interdict.
You're gonna die.
You want me to leave?
I want you to fucking
We're not-
leave because you are going
So-
to die.
Aren't you gonna die?
I probably am going to die, but I'm grappled and I'm fucked. But you are also going to
I'm
die.
grappled
unless
and
you
I'm
get out of
fucked.
there.
I
So
don't
Can I
take
get that on a
you need to get
t-shirt?
the
I'm
arrow
grappled
off
and I'm
of
fucked.
me. You need to get the arrow off of me and you need to get the fuck out of there.
I want to say something sassy. I'll listen to you. But I don't take orders from dead men.
Yeah, well, I'm not dead yet. So
I don't take orders from dead men.
Phil,
That is
she's
Judge's
injected
thesis.
and killed after you get
That
out of
is
here.
Judge's
if she
thesis
actually
statement.
gets out of here.
That was
But,
fucking badass. I don't take orders from dead men.
I mean, you don't have to listen
Fuck,
to
I
me, I
love
guess.
D&D.
But as
Well,
your
fuck.
boss and long-standing
Well-
boss, I'm telling you to get the fuck,
Okay,
get the
okay,
arrow
I
and
get
get
it.
the
I
fuck
get
out
it.
of here.
Okay, I get
Yeah,
it.
Nails and I are over there. I'm not hearing any of this.
No.
We're
Well,
just
also,
sort
I
of
should say that this is largely just like body language, and because this is happening
Yeah.
so quickly. Yeah, but also you guys know each other so well that just
Right.
a glance
We know we're
can
gonna-
Right, like-
can
All right.
convey a lot.
Okay, okay. So, how are we gonna work this out? Because
So
you
I
need
guess
to,
you're gonna
you need
have-
to toss me the thing before I do my thing.
Well, I'm gonna get the turn, but I'm good on my turn. I'm going to drop and I'm gonna second wind. And well, what would dropping
Are
high
you
be?
still
I guess that
able
would
to
be an
swap
action.
people's
What would what doing be?
Dropping it in.
thing?
Dropping the
What's
arrow to
your-
her. Is that a-
Because Phil can still exchange.
I don't think you can
on-
drop the arrow.
that's
Like
bullshit.
you'd have to break the grapple. Like this thing is
Wow, he's awesome.
your
He's like
your
this.
your only tiny parts of your body are visible.
It's
Like
like
you
the
could let
worm.
go of it, but it's not going to fall. It's wrapped in
Are
all
you
this
sure
stuff.
you don't want me to try? I'm gonna try something. You know.
So with grapple, I think you need to make some sort of save. To,
Well, yeah, and I
get out.
have. I mean, strength. I'm a warrior or a
So you can-
fighter. My precision and strength.
So you could probably break out of that as well.
Maybe.
He's
Maybe.
looks
Maybe.
pretty strong.
You know, maybe.
The thing is, I think I can use something that he will not be able to do well against.
Well, I
Probably
mean,
that will cause him to.
Give it a shot and roll well. Bless.
Yeah.
As he holds you in his hand, and as you twist and try to communicate with the weapon master, he pulls you closer and says, "Oh, I like officers."
Okay. So.
I
How's
refer
he
you to
know?
the previous card that I gave you.
We're dressed
that
up
says
like-
you're
we're-
Oh,
fuckface.
that's right.
We're
That
dressed up
was my
like-
question before Lars told me to be a coward. So whenever I do my baleful interdict.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Okay. It says it's a bonus action, but I burn a spell slot with it.
Yeah.
So does that mean I can do this as a bonus action, burn my spell slot, and then actually use my real action and still burn a spell slot to do something else?
It depends on what that something else is. Probably.
Okay. I just wonder, like, in a single turn, can I burn multiple spell slots?
Sure. Yeah. There's no
Okay.
there's no restriction there. You can't cast multiple spells, but they're a resource. You
That's
can
not
burn
great.
spell slots to do different things.
Okay, got it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is, as a bonus action, is it whenever it says burn a spell slot? Is it always just a first level spell slot, or
Nope.
does
It's
it
up to you. It's up to you.
Okay.
Usually, like you can do 2, make it stronger or something. Or anyway.
This one's a little
level 2.
different.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
It works basically like a paladin's divine smite and stuff like that.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and burn a spell slot to place a seal on Relg. Is
Yeah.
that his name? On Relg. So that'll be there.
Okay, so one of the things I was going to have, like, but this guy's way too big for that. Use the magnetic discs. Use the magnetic discs and put them under the miniature. But yeah, so you put a seal on this guy. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a symbol I think only you can see.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
pentagram. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then as my actual action, I'm going to cast. Or no, actually, it's not even a cast. It's just it's my invoke authority that I can do because I'm Architect of Ruin.
You are an architect of room.
I am.
I'm gonna text Skirts and tell him he fucking jinxed me.
So I choose a target. So I choose Relg. If their it's compelled to credulous.
Okay.
So if their charisma is less than mine, they must make a wisdom save, and if they fail that save, they attack their closest ally.
Ooh.
If their charisma is equal to or higher than mine, their ability has no effect. And I believe that their wisdom save is against my spell DC, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Figure all that's out. Too many papers.
We have it. Well, our printer does print double-sided, by the way.
Oh, does it?
Yep.
Well,
You just have to
It
know.
was like an option, and I was just like,
You
no.
have to know that, A, and you have to know how to do it. But yeah.
Okay, so he needs to make a wisdom save of 16.
Okay. He does so.
He does?
Uh-huh.
How can he be so wise? He looks so.
He is an extra-planar demon lord. He has super high stats.
look how big that mini is.
Look how big that mini.
Look how big that mini is.
Size is.
Yeah, he just rolled like all of Matt's d8s.
Do I have another thing I can do? I thought there was a thing where I can cast. Oh, I'm out of bonus actions.
Do you want to move it all? Do you want to move under me so you can have the arrow dropped on you?
I don't think you can drop it.
You're gonna.
You're
You can let go of it, but it's not clear that it's going to drop anywhere. It's just going to get lost in the entrails of whatever extraplanar creature he was feasting on.
Am I within, like, if I move, am I gonna invoke a attack of opportunity?
Where are you?
I can't even see you.
I
Oh, there
was
you are.
at the pillar of, like,
Oh.
where the church was.
Um,
In between.
Was.
Yeah.
I don't think so because he's currently grappling Lars. No, yeah, you might.
From Ajax?
No, not from Ajax.
Okay.
But
Is
you're
Ajax
not
still
you're not close enough for Relg to do it.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna scram. So I can move. Tom, do you want to just move me towards you guys? 6 squares. Yep. He's a little heavy.
You're gonna go that way.
Yeah,
Not try to get out of town this way.
that's out of town. I don't know which way.
I want to meet
Out
up
of
with you
town is
guys.
that way, or
This
it's
way.
that way, or those. But that's
I'm just trying to
So
get
let's go
closer.
this way then,
I'm just
yeah.
trying to get closer to you guys.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's 1, 2,
You can go diagonal too. Yeah.
4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Welcome to the apple cart gang.
Yeah.
Do you want to put me? Can I be 1 forward? Is that still within 6? Okay.
Oh yeah, because you might get.
Yeah.
Opportunity attack there.
Yeah. What are the guards doing right now?
Well, it's not their action yet, but they're freaking out. Actually, let me roll initiative for them.
Who isn't freaking out at this point?
Well, this is the apocalypse. That's actually quite a good initiative. I'm just gonna write NPCs.
Okay. So.
Wait, did you just run right past Dragon Dude?
I'm sorry, I got the initiative screwed up.
Oh,
Sorry.
did I?
I got the initiative screwed up.
Yeah.
Anna does not have. It should be Nails going first. I will fix that. Don't worry.
Okay.
Where is this guy centered? Is it?
Yeah, did I run past the dragon guy, Matt? Was the dragon guy gonna whack me?
Okay, wait, is he like that? He's like that.
Yeah, Mandrake will get a free attack on you if you run past him.
Okay.
I guess either you have to run past him or the big guy. Yeah.
Are you going to run past him?
I think I have to, right?
Well, you've already used your action.
So you
I
can't
used my
disengage.
action, I used my bonus action, and I'm moving.
Okay, so you used your bonus action. That was the thing I had to save against.
That was the seal. Was my
Okay,
bonus
you put a
action.
seal on. Correct. Okay, I was trying to find a way for you to use your action to disengage, but
You-
yeah, you're
Sorry,
right. You're
you
right.
said you used action already? Or
I use action to try and do the thing to make him attack an ally.
oh, okay,
Why
that
don't,
was
that
you,
it.
failed.
why don't you go this way? Then you're not going to get a tax opportunity. And you
I
can,
mean,
I guess that's true. Yeah, I could go that way instead, and then try to get up into the building
could get cut
where.
through.
because that guy, if that's the guy who took down Omen, I mean, we're
Okay,
pretty sure that that's
okay.
that guy. The sword looks like it. He's going to
Good
fuck your day
idea.
up.
Okay, yeah, good idea. So I was here.
Yes.
Phil, do you have your phone on you?
10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
I have it in airplane mode. I need to turn it off.
I'm not I've always found that, especially in this day and age, especially if it's not your turn and it's in combat and it's late and people just like want to use their phone to check stuff or
I right now I just looked up what a potion of climbing did.
yeah, look things
Holy-
up.
holy
I
cow,
find
my friend Brian is watching and he sent me like a million texts.
that's cool. So that was supposed to be. So what happened was Tom was supposed to go first. Nails was supposed to go first,
Aha.
and then Judge did. So I screwed that up. I apologize. I'll figure out this D&D game one of these days. So
I hope
for
we have some sort of CC.
I'm sorry. Did you move?
I did. I
I
went the other
can.
way though.
You went the other way. Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't want to invoke. I don't get the attack of opportunity from the bronze dragonborn guy.
Nails, it's you.
Well, all I can think to do is like, I mean, I'm not going to be able to. The best I could do is like maybe irritate him enough to like turn around, and then he's just going to try and kill both of us.
He probably doesn't know you exist yet. You're just over there.
Do you have any kind of
possible.
I don't know.
He probably
I don't know.
assumes that I'm one of these peasants.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of CC or anything, or I don't know.
CC.
I don't know sorcerers. Crowd control.
Can you stun him or root him
Yeah,
or something?
Stun them or root
I
them
have
or
I have fear,
Oh.
but I don't imagine that I can make a demon afeared of me.
well,
What's
you're
the-
Give it a shot.
You're
What's
pretty
the save?
charismatic, but you can do that.
Just
with
remember
one
that,
book
like-
it, or you can double book it.
Yeah, if you use your action, right, and then one of the things you can do with your action is you can convert your movement into movement that doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. So if you need to get out and you need to run past somebody who might otherwise be able to thwack you, you need to use your action to make sure that. Does that make sense?
So that.
So what just happened to Anna? What just happened to Anna was she wanted to run past Mandrake, but she was like, "Well, he's going to get an attack of opportunity on me because I can't run past him without and ignore him."
Right.
And in order to run past him and be defensive as you do it, it takes your action, and she'd already used her action.
I see.
So that's the trade-off: is you can try something, but then if it fails, whether it succeeds or fails, if you want to move past any of these people, they might get a free attack on you.
Gotcha.
This isn't actually a.
No, those aren't
Enemy.
guards.
Right.
Those are peasants.
He's not gonna.
He's selling apples.
That
Yeah,
guy's
he's
selling.
selling
That guy.
and
Well, he
filling
was.
his pants
He
right.
was selling apples. Now he's
Dropping
in the
apples.
in the soiled drawers business. But it turns out it's a seller's market, and there's probably not going to be anybody.
All right. Well, let's see. Oh God.
Yeah.
I realize it's Hobson's choice, considering it.
What I'm wondering is, do our guys, what are,
So I think
Yeah.
I'm fucked, and I think we need to not worry about me. And if playing in character, I think that would be the thing. So what I'm gonna do now is because I had my bow out intending to shoot. I don't know if Matt's gonna let me do this, but I'm gonna actually try to shoot into where Tom is, so Tom can recover the arrow and leave. I don't know if it's gonna work after it's been shot once, but I don't see what else we got. I can use my.
just lob it?
Yeah, we'll
Oh,
try to
you
shoot it
throw
in the window. What else are we gonna do with it? And I can use my action surge to heal a little bit, but he just did 40 points of damage to me. So
Even if you throw it like here, I'm gonna go downstairs and like maybe I don't know.
yeah,
I don't
well
know
we'll
if this is-
see. We'll see on my turn where I can
Meta.
do it, but that's all I can think to do.
Well, you're gonna want to try and break free from the grapple. I'd assume.
But that's gonna take my action. So
I see.
since our thing is we complete the contract,
You're right.
I should try. I need to get that back to you guys because she has a really
So-
high charisma. She just blew it on that. Tom is also charisma. He can't do anything. You can try to shoot him, but I don't think we're gonna kill this guy at level 5.
The job was to kill
Mortem, the wizard.
Mortem.
Mortem.
Mortem's
He's
not
None of
here.
these guys
He's
are
not
Mortem.
here.
None of these guys
So-
are Mortem.
and
That's
we-
not our job.
Yep.
And I'm fucked. So playing in character.
If I can hit him with fear and succeed, he will drop you.
That'd be awesome.
What's the save for fear? Is it wisdom?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
He is a really good wisdom. Like my
What
he,
was your?
I
my
could
DC
roll a
is
1.
16.
That's true.
Good.
That's true. That's always
Well, what's
possible.
your-
Well, keep in mind,
what's
a
your
DC of
15?
16 means there's like a 20% chance anybody could save against it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it depends how he rolls. I mean, you get your action and your movement. You're not that far from off the board, so you're actually
Yeah, like
your 5 or 6 will get you off the board. So you could do it and then book it.
It is worth a shot.
yeah.
I'm going to.
You might be in range already. I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm going to move.
Well, if you do that, you're not gonna be able to get out of there.
What?
Lars is kind of planning your movement,
Yeah.
and he's saying if you want to move
Sorry.
your max movement that way,
To get out.
then
Just stay.
spending 10 feet moving that way won't get you off the map. In other words, if you move 10 feet that way to cast a spell, you won't have enough movement left over to get off the map, is what Lars is saying.
Well, I need to get close enough to try and cast this.
What's the range on fear?
30.
30. Oh yikes.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
So I don't have to go
Just
far.
walk right in front of
But I can
Phil.
go there, and then I can split move and attack,
Yep.
and I can misty
Split
step
move.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah. We actually got together, I think you were here for this, Phil, but we got together with Tom and just ran a couple danger room
Oh,
scenarios because he's never lit
They
his-
all went great.
Yeah, went great.
I was like, okay,
Didn't-
Tom,
Didn't you get your ass kicked?
I mean, technically yes.
Yeah.
like the
Also,
first, yeah.
yes.
No, he figured it was super useful. He figured some stuff out and learned how to use the spells and learned some tactics and stuff, and that was awesome.
Good.
All right,
I have not been using the
25, 30.
Jerry. Am I safe to use
No, you should
the
be.
players thing to change initiatives and stuff?
You could be one back if you want.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
30.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna try it. Does it already say
Oh, sorry, I'm counting him. No, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm mistaken.
if I
Yeah,
hit
you're right.
Tom,
Sorry.
if I hit Schmuck? Okay. Awesome. We'll see if this works.
What are you doing?
Yeah, he's up there.
Hey,
Nice.
that's cool.
I can run initiative from here and have that change.
Nice.
And since I'm the one that calls initiative anyway, then it's perfectly reasonable for me to. So you're gonna cast a spell?
Great. Yeah, I sneak up behind him and I gaze at his humongous warty ass,
A phrase I've heard many times.
and I compel it to fear me.
Okay. Go ahead and make. Oh, I make a saving.
Mhm.
So, mark off the spell.
Wisdom save.
Roll a 1.
Ooh, what's the DC?
15.
He succeeds.
Okay. Dang.
Yeah, he's a demon lord.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah.
He's a
Do you what do you have movement left?
I do have movement left. Beep. Wait. So that was.
You moved 2.
You can move
Three.
diagonally, so that's 5, 10, 15 to get to where you were. You were here, right?
Ah.
Yeah.
You were here,
20, 25, 30.
and that's it. You're done.
This is your Misty Step, a bonus action.
It is.
Hey, you're grappled.
Should I just like?
Trying to help him out. He doesn't play. I can shut up.
I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm one of the senior officers here. I'm not just gonna
Is it a bandit? Yeah.
just drop trow and run away.
Yeah, what you
These
gotta remember,
guys-
it's not about us. It's about completing the mission.
These guys panic. This guy tries to panic and falls on his ass.
Nice.
This guy panics, and you can probably get off the whole map. This guy panics. The apple cart seller starts trying to drag his cart. His
Oh
horse,
my God.
his oxen have run, but he's trying to slowly pull his apple cart out from what's happening. And the
I'm watching the
Hawk
whole time.
Lords are continuing to bomb the city. They haven't stopped. Just
Oh, they're
with
bombing the city.
Okay.
They're not just bombing the.
No, yeah. Well, rebellions are tedious, but they have to be.
So don't feel so
They have
bad
to be
about
taken seriously.
knocking that furniture over.
wait.
Yeah, I
So
know. It's gonna be
all
done
we
in-
did was shoot an arrow at that guy,
Yeah.
and he's wrecking the whole city because of that.
Well,
Seems a bit suspicious.
Well, a little
Well, maybe we were set up.
overkill. I would
Oh,
say.
you think so?
Let's see.
It's like somebody calling you a poo-poo head and then you hitting the nuke button.
well, somebody was trying to kill
Well,
his
I mean,
main
look,
wizard
look,
dude.
look at his fucking cape, dude. He's obviously a wiener.
Yeah.
it's copper and
Throwing
big
a
cat.
tantrum.
Okay.
Nice.
He's obviously a wiener. How dare you, sir? Those are fighting words. No one calls me a
He's
wiener.
got rainbows surrounding him. Is
Right.
that part of his cape?
Yeah. Look.
I mean,
Looks amazing.
Yeah, you should
Look at
make
that
fun
dude.
on your turn. You
Shouldn't
should
that
make fun
guy
of
be
this
king?
kid.
Shouldn't
yeah,
he
I
be?
think I'll do that.
Shouldn't
I
he
think
be
my
the
eyes
emperor
will
of the
roll
world?
back in my- No.
What's that?
I said, look at that guy. Shouldn't he be the emperor of the world? Looks like he deserves it.
I say he thinks he deserves it.
Yeah. He definitely thinks he deserves
That's
it.
a Warhammer mini, isn't it?
I think it is, but it's got a unique head and a unique hand. I think. Yeah, but it is a straight up. There was somebody in
Looks like
chat.
Warhammer
I
shoulders.
don't remember who it was, but somebody in chat during NetHack stream, I was talking about getting I just described what Ajax looked like, and I got a whole bunch of really good suggestions. And this was I wanted to get like a 75mm mini, just to make him look like
Right.
it wouldn't be to scale, but to impress
Right.
people. But yeah, I think that is literally what Ajax looks like. Like he looks like a noble leader. His blonde hair, blue eyes. He looks like the hero of the people. Not these people. These people are all going to die. But some people somewhere.
Right.
All right. So that was Copper.
So I'm gonna-
Copper and Big Cat.
So I'm gonna move. I
Okay.
don't know how much I can move with while mounted. Is that? Do you
Uh,
think that's the same?
You're going to use your for now, unless it turns out to be a bad idea. You're going to use your mount's movement. So basically, actually, I think you
don't
make
know.
an animal handling check. Make an animal handling check, and you can command your mount to move its movement. And that's your movement.
Okay, I didn't know if there was a
Oh,
card or something.
There is.
He has to make a check to have his animal move.
while he's riding his animal, he has to basically make a riding check,
Okay.
and it doesn't take an action, right? But if he's not in tune with his animal, then it's only going to move 30 feet, which is his normal movement.
I see.
But if he's being a good rider, if he's
Gotcha.
being good at being a ranger pet dude, then he will get his pet's full movement, which is 60 feet,
Nice.
which is quite a lot. There you go, Tom.
And if you fail, you just don't move, or is it
No,
half
no,
or something?
no. If you fail, you just move 30 feet.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
The question is, are you a good, skilled enough rider
Am I kidding?
to be able to? What did you say? What?
He said, "Fuck off."
Yeah.
Best ranger.
Best. Did you write that down? Did everyone write that down? Just to make sure?
I wrote it down.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay.
Or was it, "Hey, fuck off"?
Hey, fuck you.
Or yeah, that. I don't remember what his saying was.
It's all about the same.
Yeah.
I'll try this dice again. See what happens. Animal handling.
The
Wisdom.
dice.
Looks like an old penny.
God, I don't like this dice so far. Okay.
What'd you get? It's not a hard roll.
9.
9 is not good enough.
Yeah.
So you get 30. You
So I get 30 feet.
You still get 30 feet of movement, and you're riding your pet.
How do
Big
I?
cat's scared.
How do you get out from there?
Yeah.
Well, you have a couple of options. You can either have Big Cat leap
Right.
out of the window,
Uh-huh.
which in your experience would be no problem for Big Cat. He's
Oh.
big and has 6 legs.
That's
or
awesome.
you could try to go backwards down the stairs and get out the front door.
I'm
which
jumping.
would
Or the side door.
Yeah, or the side door, which would be probably the rest of your movement and then some.
No, I'll jump if it's like he's like a cat. He can make a safe fall
Yeah.
and not. Okay.
Absolutely.
but aren't you
Does he have any skills? Probably not.
He's displacer beast.
Yeah,
Might have
but
abilities and
creatures
stuff.
have skills like people do. They have proficiencies.
So it would say in like the middle
Oh.
section, Tom. I only
Yeah,
know
after
that
the
you spent a long
stats-
time making monsters.
After the list of stats where it says strength X, underneath that it would say skills if there were any.
Dark vision.
Yep, he doesn't have skills.
Passive perception. Okay.
No.
He's all
So go ahead
displacey.
go ahead and make a
Displace himself.
go ahead and make a dex check
Mm-hmm.
and add +3 to it.
Okay.
How high up is the commander right now from the ground?
20 feet.
18.
Yeah.
Dex.
I think you need to be using those dice.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about these. +3.
We could get some mercury and
20
drop them into the sea
20
if they're weighted.
28.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you're able to leap out of. Where do you want to land?
Right here, I guess.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
Okay.
Senior officers of the chain, you all see Copper on Big Cat come bursting out of the window, and just like a cat always lands on its feet. All
Cat
6 feet
does.
just go, pip, pip,
That's awesome.
and the tentacles are waving, and Big Cat's like.
And then I'm gonna move this way.
All right, you move that way, and as this thing slinks along, its legs don't seem to be moving very quickly, but it's got 6 of them, so it's almost like a spider. And as it goes by Relg, it turns and goes. At Relg.
Did you suggest that Tom have a cat that he rides around on so you
was-
could make your cat impersonations?
Listen, I don't question your character choices.
should've.
Apparently you can't. According to chat, you can't put copper in mercury; it would dissolve it. That would be a terrible way to find out. That would be. Thank God for chat letting me know you can't put copper in mercury, because that would be like, is this weighted? Bloop.
Telling us the important
Definitely
things.
not. It's now a liquid.
when I bought it, on the little description, it says, like, one of the questions was, will it turn green after all? Because it's copper. And
Yeah,
it says,
yeah.
yes, it will. So
That's cool.
eventually it'll turn green like
That's
the
cool.
gun
You
was.
get a patina. That's awesome. I think that's really cool.
Right below,
Yeah, right
can
now
I
they
check
just
for
look like
balance
dirty pennies.
using
Just look at
mercury?
your
So
pens,
you
And you know
move-
what they say about
Oh.
dirty pennies, where those have been.
So I'm not quite done.
No, don't you have another? Do you have an action or
I have an
another
action.
movement if you want? Yeah.
Um,
You have 3 more red arrows, Tom.
yeah, but I don't. I
Don't
feel
do
like
it,
I
Tom.
wouldn't. I feel like they told specifically this is for.
Excuse me, that's my emotional support displacer beast. Comment. This is working great. I can't tell if these are comments from chat or they're from the moderators, but I love
okay.
getting the comments from chat. It's my emotional support displacer beast.
I'm not gonna use my arrow. I think I'm gonna try and snare and strike to stop
Okay.
him from moving.
Okay.
If that'll help at all.
Did we specifically need all of these arrows?
I mean, we got
She gave us 5.
we got
Is that 1 in 4
arrows?
we got
spares? or is
we
that...
got 5 bullets, and once we're out of those bullets, we're fucked and we can't complete the job.
When they
So
took the
let's see.
job, there was a half orc with them, and the half orc said that 5 arrows was a waste of 4 arrows because you were only going to get 1 shot.
That sounds like Nicodemus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 5 arrows is a waste of 4 arrows because you'll only get 1 shot.
Well,
So no, I don't think we should.
No. I'm wondering now if I should try
As
because
long as we got one
he
left.
has one in his shoulder.
Oh,
Like
is
try
it
to
sticking out of
recover
him? Did it actually
Or-
wound him?
No, because he was fucking smiling after he got hit, based on the description.
But it actually.
Maybe he likes
Yeah.
pain.
I mean,
No,
Oh, that's
I
a
mean,
good
again,
question.
motherfucker
Do I
took
see
down
if I
King
look at
Omen's
him?
wizard,
Do I
so-
see?
It hit him.
It's like
He's
in
just
him?
not a wizard.
Okay, but it's like in him still.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably like the if you know their true name thing and it's etched on it or something.
Something he's just using disguise
From-
self or something. He probably like anticipated like the real wizard probably can't risk going out like on his own, so they probably just send somebody who they know can like fuck shit up if he gets attacked.
Yeah, I mean, you could give it a shot, Tom.
For what?
You were gonna.
Oh yeah.
Anything?
I guess he's probably pretty strong. It's a strength save.
Oof.
Yeah,
I doubt-
definitely.
I mean,
I mean, he did 40 damage to me, so
Yeah.
I don't think it was dexterity.
I feel like it's just gonna be a waste.
Yeah, you might as well.
We're. Okay, that's
I'll
all.
meet you in Valhalla, Tom.
No, you're not dying. You're not dying.
That's alright. If I
I
die, he'll
picked
just
as a
revive me as a
ranger.
bad guy in like 16 sessions.
Alright.
That is correct.
That's pretty typical, Matthew.
100%.
Oh, this is
I'm
wall.
a big believer in recycling. I recycle all the PCs into bad guys. Some of those bad guys are still kicking around. Lady Cyril still kicking around.
I use my bonus action to take an apple.
Like the tentacles reach out and each grab 1 apple, and 1 tentacle ferries it up to you,
Yeah.
and the other one and the cats don't like apples. All right, that was Tom. It's now the lieutenant's action. I have got to get used to doing this. There we go.
Oh, shit.
I don't know.
First stream. Who dis? We'll get this figured out.
Tell me how the javelin of lightning works.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Do we have a?
I've got a dungeon master.
If you
I
if
don't
you throw
remember
it, you're
anymore.
gonna burn it. Like you're not gonna get it back. So.
Yeah, when you throw it, it turns into a bolt of lightning, basically.
Yeah, but then it's gonna stick into something, and if we don't recover it, it's gone. So,
I think you can throw it and not say the command word, and then it's just a normal javelin. But otherwise, if you throw it and say the command word, it turns into, and I'm just doing this from memory, it turns into a lightning bolt.
Okay,
And
so
it
you
will
do
do a
have, but you do have to physically recover it. It's not like magic and comes back to your hand. Or
No,
Yeah.
correct. When you
We don't
hurl it
get
and
it
speak the
after
command
every
word,
fight.
transforms into a bolt of lightning 5 feet wide, 120 feet long, each creature in the line, so it can affect many people. Must make a very reasonable DC 13 dex save, or take 46 lightning. Half as much on a save. It turns back into a javelin when it reaches the target. You make a ranged weapon attack on a hit. Yep.
So you have to hit, but as long as you hit,
Yep.
like you're guaranteed to do some damage to it. It might be enough to drop the commander.
It counts as a magic
It
weapon.
also might kill the commander, right?
Four
I mean,
hit
it
points.
doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Well, you said it was 5 feet. You said it was 5 feet wide.
Bosch Novito says Lars should play the apple card salesman. be that guy.
my cabbages.
Well, I mean,
It's
it's
from
not.
Avatar,
It's not.
like
It's
cabbages.
indiscriminate damage, right? I mean,
Oh.
it could potentially kill the cow.
God, I'm
Kill the
covered in
cow.
super glue. I was like, why does my skin feel weird? I was like, oh, that's not really my skin.
That's why
Thank
I
God.
didn't want to put together the other thing, because my hands just got destroyed by building that house.
Anyway,
Shit, I don't know what to do. I mean,
Like
we would try to save the captain.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case.
I
we
think
complete the job.
Yeah, but we wouldn't.
But like you,
It's the company, man.
but that's not. I mean, I'm the only one here who read the Black Company, but that's not.
that's not true. Phil read it.
Yeah.
Well, how long ago? The commander comes
It's
out
not a contest.
and he tries to drop off the chest somewhere they can get it, but he's fucked. And he does what he can, but he's fucked and he crashes that magic carpet and he dies. But I have 4 health. I'm grappled by this thing. Ajax is right here. The knight's right there. I'm fucked.
But you're not dead yet.
He's not dead yet.
You're right. I have 4 hit points.
But I mean,
In your experience, does the lieutenant leave people behind?
In my experience, the lieutenant completes the job, and the job is not here.
Oh well.
I don't
He can't get you.
Yeah, no, I mean, my dude doesn't leave people behind. If you read my backstory, you'd know that.
All right.
It's your action.
Come get me, dude.
I'm just trying to think of what I mean, I think the javelin of lightning is our best chance of getting him to drop it.
Oh, maybe like.
Do you want to throw it?
I mean, I might be sacrificing it. But
Well,
You can recover it if you know. I mean,
this guy stays
if you run up to him and go and pull it out of his
pull it out of his
pull it
butt
out of
crack.
his infested butt crack. Yes, as you say. Yes.
Look at that thing.
Excuse me.
facing right at me. Like, literally in real life.
Can't take
and
your eyes
Well, there's
off
no
it.
there's
Here in
no
Black Bottom.
there's no facing in D&D, so we could turn him around if you haven't seen the Majesty.
There we go. Yeah, get that on the
Look
camera.
at that thing.
Man, his back is
Yeah.
fucking gross.
We were just talking about.
Right?
Yeah, it's really nasty looking.
I
Look
love
at like stringy like guts too. I don't know how they did that.
Man,
Phil.
I'm
Oh
thinking.
man, his
Okay.
little thing.
Take your
I
time. This is
have
the
a
first
question.
time playing the character. Take your time.
Can I, is it a religion check? Because, like, being a tiefling, I'm probably a bit familiar, I think, with demons because
Sure. Yeah.
they're
100%.
assholes.
Yep.
But I want to kind of
Demons
get,
are assholes.
I want to kind of get an idea of, like, if this guy ends up killing the commander, like, do we have some shit to worry about? Like, is he going to try and, like, resurrect him against us kind of thing?
Yeah, that would definitely be a religion check.
Okay. 14.
It certainly. I mean, they'll have the commander's soul.
If they kill him.
Yeah.
And what if somebody else kills him?
Do we know that?
Well, that's a good question.
Do I need
That
to
was
look
true.
I don't think
I
that's
wouldn't.
you don't. If you had rolled higher, you might get a clear answer. But for what you rolled, I think that certainly if this demon kills the commander, then if this demon kills the commander, then they're going to have the commander's soul. And what they do with that, you're not sure, but they can use it to fuel things. They might be able to use it to bring him back and make him a thrall. They might learn everything the commander knows about the chain.
Shit.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, that kind of
But you don't know that, Phil.
right.
Actually, the judge could explain that. Talking takes no time. But it's up to you whether or not. Do you
some
use chain sign?
Yeah.
Use
Yeah.
chain sign. What would judge chain sign to the lieutenant?
Save. Oh, sorry. Oop.
I think I would, like, kill commander, save soul.
And it's up to Phil how the lieutenant interprets that.
I think that's
This is man.
This is too
I know
intense.
this is not the done thing, but this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
It cannot contain my excitement how awesome this is.
Well,
Now-
so
my guy's been around. Like
Yeah.
he's been around.
You've
He's
been
been
to
in
Hell.
other
You've
planes.
been to the world below.
So
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, he's not gonna just be like, oh, that's bullshit, right?
Right.
He's
Oh
gonna-
no, absolutely not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
for
especially
me,
if
He
Judge
knows
says it.
that kind of stuff can happen.
Yeah, plus Judge is kind of the local expert on fiends and demonology and stuff
Right.
like that. Like, Judge is a paladin of Asmodeus.
Right.
So when Judge talks about
Oh
demons,
shit.
yes, yeah, Judge is a paladin of Asmodeus. Yeah,
So then. So looking at this guy, I mean,
I just got a link to TV tropes. Shoot the hostage.
I don't know. I don't know that.
I love that site.
I mean, I don't think my character would expect that we could kill this thing,
No.
right?
No, but might you try to do whatever you could desperately?
Right. Well, I'm trying to. I'm thinking. Okay, so based on the circumstances, what would he think is the most prudent thing to do? Right? Would it be to kill the commander so he doesn't get his soul eaten by a demon?
Was it? Yeah.
or like try to hurt the demon, but
You guys haven't been able to hurt the demon yet.
I mean, the only chance there is that I hit the demon and somehow he drops the guy.
Yeah.
Well, you're just even if you hit me with the lightning, you're just gonna knock me unconscious. You're not gonna do it. You'd have to do it's like what 3
Significant.
times my hit points to kill me outright.
It's just
So,
the same
How many
amount.
hit points do you have right now?
4,
What's your max hit points?
44.
He'd have to do 48 hit points to kill.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
Yeah,
The
you just
javelin
knock
and
him
lightning's not
unconscious.
gonna do that. That's like what it's 2d10 or something.
It's 46.
46. Yeah.
So basically, the only thing I can really
But-
do is throw the javelin at him and hope that he drops him.
If you javelined the commander and the commander went unconscious, a lot of creatures stop attacking unconscious things to focus on the threat. You've played D&D before.
I know.
It's pretty typical.
Yeah.
A lot of things do.
But I mean, this dude probably just eat him, right?
That
He
is a
was-
reasonable conclusion.
He was
Yeah.
he was just like
Yeah.
munching on
That was
something.
a
A lot of
reasonable
things
popped
do,
in.
but not all
That is
things.
a reasonable conclusion.
Not things with
I'm-
pimple all over its
I'm
butt.
glad everybody liked their retainers, Vundel said, because you're going to get to play one of them in a second.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking that like out of desperation, I would throw the javelin.
Yeah.
Okay.
To
Who
try-
are you javelining?
I'm gonna throw it at the demon
Okay.
to try and get him to drop.
And it's 5 feet
Drop 'em.
wide is the lightning bolt. Is that what it said?
Yeah, it's
Really
5
does.
feet wide and 120 feet long. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I should.
You can definitely angle it upwards if you want to avoid hitting other people. I mean, if you have enough movement, you could maybe try to hit both Relg and
Well,
Saint
I-
Ajax.
Nah, I mean, I'd have to get over here. I would use all my movement to get over there.
People want high-res photos of the minis, and we will provide them
Yeah, that's cool.
because we're incredibly happy with the work that Blue's Light Painting did.
Although I might be able to move to the side and catch Fucknut there. What's his name?
Like this way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I forgot what his name was.
There used
You
to be
can
a
draw
church
through
there.
the ruins of the church.
Who are
dragon.
you trying to shoot?
The
What?
Dragonborn. What's that?
Oh, that's Mandrake.
Mandrake.
Mandrake. Mandrake the Betrayer.
I'll write that down.
He was the captain of the Bronze Dragonflight before.
Not the best ranger.
So we got Morton and Mandrake. He likes M's.
Man, I'm happy that everybody else is writing notes. I don't have to do it this time. I also don't have a new
Well,
book. So, well, you know,
I mean, yeah.
it's probably not going to matter pretty quick here.
I mean-
this feels like one of the and Lars is also playing moments. Classic. Anytime somebody is getting fucked in a game that we're playing.
All right. So how many spaces would I have to move to be able to get Mandrake and Big Sloppy in a line?
Oop, I'm sorry.
You're pretty much. You're gonna hit him. So 30 feet.
I mean, you'd have to
Javelin's
get.
like
You want
60,
him and
right?
him?
Yeah.
You'd have to get like here to get a line. Actually, no. You could do it from here.
Oh,
If
really?
you stood here, no,
That's
they're
when
not.
you hit me.
They're not. Yeah, they're not. Unfortunately, they're just far enough apart that one 5 foot wide line could not get both of them.
So does
So
the
you'd
5
have
foot
to-
line go through everybody
Yep.
and just keeps going?
Yep.
Might
So
be
that's,
on the other
it's,
side.
it's literally like a 46 lightning bolt.
Can I get up and look?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, of course.
Careful of
Just
the-
don't whap anything.
Yeah.
I think most of the rest of us are used to it from code names, but
Yeah. When you lean in,
watch.
especially you forget whenever you start to back out.
So
I just want to say the mods are doing amazing work.
so are we talking
Yay!
Super happy with the line.
the
They're
base?
so good.
Yeah, I got to hit the any of these
Yeah,
squares.
if you can intersect any square that the base touches.
So basically, I need to get here. I'm thinking.
Yeah, that would do it. Sure.
Because
Yep.
You could reach 5, 10,
Yeah.
15.
100%.
Yeah, you could reach that.
Is that gonna hit me too?
That's would it hit you?
This is also gonna hit
All
this
right.
priest.
fuck that
well.
priest.
Ajax specifically said, "I knew you had nothing to do with this, so you will live."
Yeah, but he's consorting. He's consorting with the enemy.
That's
So-
definitely true.
All right, so then I guess what I got to do is I got to try and hit Chumpy there, Mandrake.
Well, they both actually you just mark off the javelin lightning and I make saving throws. It's
Oh.
like casting a spell.
Should I move you over there?
Oh yeah, please.
5, 10, 15, 20? Right there?
And what did I say the
Ba-
DC was?
ba-
I said it
back
was
one.
13 or something like that.
I think you need to
This way?
go. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you use the javelin?
Yes.
Mark it off. Mandrake the Betrayer. Saves. Relg. Am I gonna Relg? Relg fails. Do you want to make a saving throw?
That didn't hit me.
How do you know?
I'm not on the line. I'm over here.
Oh, okay. Maybe you hit him and he conducts.
Oh,
the-
okay. I
No,
mean,
I'm kidding.
I know you really want to kill me.
What is it? Is
I
it
don't.
a dex?
I don't want to kill
Yeah,
you.
no. Fuck you.
Relg wants to kill
Where's
you.
your rank and title?
Is it a
Can we
dex?
just like hang
Where's
out
your rank and
here?
title?
I don't. I think I lost it.
I
remember
don't
what
think
it
you
said.
lost it.
Is it
I
a
think
dex
you love
save?
that, and you're gonna save it forever,
I am.
and you're
Is
gonna
it
get it
dex
framed.
save?
I did like it. I can get it framed.
Yeah, I think
It's
yeah,
the
it was
coolest
Dex
thing that
save.
happened.
I think just to be
Go ahead and roll damage, Phil.
transparent.
40, it's just 46.
I think I'm in
46?
line to get hit.
Are you?
I don't know how
Where are you?
I'm right here.
Where's the?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
I don't know if it goes that far. Is it a long
it's 120 feet.
It's almost infinite. Yeah.
Well, but when you throw it,
Um,
doesn't it stick into Relg?
It just keeps
Because
going.
you was aiming at Relg?
No,
Is
it
that
turns.
not how-
Well, actually, that's a good question. Where'd my dungeon?
Well, I guess it zaps, but
It turns into a lightning bolt, and then I think it must stop at some point and turn back into a javelin.
Because it's not like chain
maybe
lightning.
you can recover. It goes all the way through. Hits the
Oh
It's
yeah,
the
is it
wall.
gonna hit? No, it's not gonna hit you.
If it hits the wall, then you can pick it up.
It might hit that peasant running down the street.
Oh my god!
Fell down. That's fucked up.
It wouldn't be the first peasant that fell.
Just look over and I see a bit of fried chicken
Better
on the
than he
ground.
falls to that than he
I
falls
really
to
hope I
that.
get a fucking turn.
All right,
I
so
know.
that's-
I really hope I get a fucking
All right,
turn.
here we go. I'm gonna roll.
Nice.
That's not bad. Roll. 20 damage. Do I get to add my strength?
Oh
or
wait,
no?
no! I told a lie. It doesn't really work like a lightning bolt.
Oh.
So, what'll happen is it'll. I'm gonna make a ruling. It's gonna embed in Relg.
Okay.
So he's the target. So it's gonna go zap, zap, zap. Anybody between you and Relg, it's gonna zap, and then it's gonna stop in Relg.
Oh, you hit somebody.
Oh.
Yay. 1 second.
I probably don't add my strength to that since I didn't have to roll. to
Javelins
see if I
are javelins. No, because it's a spell. No, what you're doing is you're basically launching a fire lightning bolt spell.
hit. Okay. All right.
Oh.
Well, I got 20 damage. and
Okay.
I don't know if
And it does something.
Yeah, so because you hit a target that I have a seal on, I'm gonna go ahead and
Oh.
consume the seal and I roll 2d6 damage.
Nice.
Hey.
That's neat.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I forgot you
I
could do
do
that.
I do eight damage, and the
So
seal
what's the total?
the seal vanishes.
So 28 between the two of us.
Okay.
Maybe he'll drop the captain.
That'd be great.
Drop the captain.
Normally, I have you guys track damage to bad guys, but in this case, this guy has so many hit points. I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, you notice the javelin arc into his like right butt cheek, and there's like a little like black scorch mark on it, but otherwise
magic
he doesn't.
resistance.
He doesn't seem to know. No, I mean, it appears to have worked. It's just this is a huge demon.
Okay.
And a 46 lightning bolt is not enough to do it. He kind
Phase
of
of
reaches around with his giant axe, and he kind of scratches his ass. Oh, there's something poking at me.
Does he drop the commander?
Does he drop the commander? No.
Did Chumpy take any damage? Mandrake?
Mandrake saved and took half damage.
Okay, so he took 10. Alright.
How'd the priest do?
With my
Is the priest actually in line of sight? Actually,
no,
Lenny?
I don't think he was.
I think he is.
Oh, if he is, he is.
I think he is. Let me have a roll.
I have no use for
Yeah.
priests.
He does not make his saving throw. He is badly wounded and falls to the ground, but he seems to still be alive. He seems to be mostly cowering.
20 damage.
Phil, so the lieutenant throws this javelin. It turns into a lightning bolt. It arcs. It hits the bishop, knocks him down. He seems alive but unwilling to get up. It scorches Mandrake's face and causes him to turn away, and it embeds into Relg, causing a slight tremor in Relg's butt cheek. And that is the lieutenant's action. You're gonna move.
I want to use the rest of my movement to get back toward just closer to the
Okay.
guys.
Somebody want to wrangle?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
So just one square. That's all I got.
It's the commander.
You made it.
I get a turn.
5, 10, 15.
You are grappled.
Fine.
You can
I'm
still you can
grappled.
still attack.
I can still attack.
You can still attack. You
so
can
I
drink
could,
potions. The
I
only thing
could
you
lob
can't.
the arrow if I wanted to.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I,
you can kind of push your arm through the
You stab.
writhing,
I'm
bloody
gonna use-
intestines.
I'm gonna use my second wind.
The smell of it, of this
Where's my
rancid
D10?
meat and blood, is clogging your nose. Nose.
Okay, so I have 13 hit points now with my second wind. I'm gonna fire the arrow this way in Anna's judge's line of sight. like lob it over.
Are you
Okay.
firing it or are you tossing it to me?
Huh? Can I throw it that far?
I'm just like right here, right?
You can shoot it.
Oh, yeah,
Probably
you're right.
makes more
there.
sense
I mean,
to shoot it
technically,
over
by the
that way.
rules, being restrained does not prevent you from attacking.
So yeah, I can lob it over so it's in your line, so you can at least try to recover it.
Yeah, it just doesn't pull it back all the way, just a little.
Yeah.
Hunt.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Bunts
mean, I didn't roll
Yeah,
super
that's
high on my
where we're
second
at,
win,
not
so I don't know
mine.
what else. Well, let's see.
Just kicks it.
You can make an acrobatics check or not. Actually, I think that would be an action, and you just took your action, correct?
No, I did second win. That's a bonus.
Right, but you're going to fire the arrow.
I'm gonna fire the arrow.
That's going to be your action.
Yeah. But I'm level 5. I get 2 attacks,
Dos attacks, por favor.
so I can at least make one swipe at him.
Yeah, try to
So
cut yourself out of the goop.
Oh, that's interesting. You can still make a regular attack with the javelin because it can do its damage in addition to the lightning damage.
That's right, because whenever I used to use it, you
if you
roll
wanna
the
roll.
javelin damage and the lightning.
Sure.
crit.
Crit.
It's easy. It's easy to crit this thing. It's as big as a house.
Okay, so I roll 4d. Or wait, no.
Whatever
no.
a javelin's damage is, you roll it twice. And then
Yeah,
add your,
javelin
and
damage
add
is
your
more.
strength once.
1d6.
There you go.
So it's just 2d6.
Ah.
So 2d6 plus
It's just
whatever
2d6, but you get your crazy strength.
That's really?
Oh,
It's
but
a javelin. It's just a javelin.
You get to roll.
But Anna's
you get
the
to,
weapon master?
You automatically get a 2 for the one
Ones
that
or
you
twos.
rolled.
Ones or
So
twos.
it's
it's a
4
4
plus
plus.
whatever your strength modifier is. Oh, you don't get to re-roll it. It's just that instead of 1, it's just 2.
yeah,
That's
the
what a
weapon
crit
master.
does?
No, no, no.
A crit.
Yeah.
A crit is just you roll the weapon down. You roll your damage again.
Okay.
I think
So
the
whatever the
javelin
damage is, you roll it again.
I think
And a
that's
javelin is just a
Yeah.
d6.
Judges.
So critting on a javelin is just 2d6. And you have a weapon
Oh, it's
master.
1d6. I see.
Yeah, you have a weapon master. So like when you were passing out the treasure, when Judge handed the javelin to you, Judge is like, hang on a second, sharpen, 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 sharpen.
There you
Gotcha.
go. I
And
see.
So it's a little bit
So-
sharper than a normal
So
javelin,
it's 4 plus my strength.
which is crazy.
So 9 damage.
So he has 30 negative. Got it. Got it. Yeah, the javelin sticks in him. Thank you for chat for correcting that. Mind you, I think this javelin lightning is about to fuck off to the underworld.
So do I need to roll to fire the arrow over here, or?
Do you need to roll to fire the arrow over there? No, I don't think
Okay.
so. No, you're a 5th level experienced soldier, commander of the chain.
So
You can-
I
you
don't.
can make
I
sure-
mean, maybe we can ask chat
I liked
this.
it better
I haven't had a
whenever
second attack in a
critting
while.
gave
Can
you
I use
maximum
my second
damage.
attack with a different weapon, or does it
That
need
was
to be the
last
same one?
edition.
You have
Yeah,
your
go
movement
ahead,
action.
like
I would
that.
say
I don't
switching
use the
weapons
double-
counts as part of your
double
move,
die
and
thing.
you can't use your move. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, you can't go anywhere, is what I mean. So
I'm
yeah.
gonna try to stab him in the eye
Okay.
with my two-handed sword, and that's not gonna be a hit.
Well, he's-
14.
14 hits.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, I
He's
guess he's
all
fucking.
flesh.
He's huge. Like it's hard to. It's almost impossible to miss him.
Alright, well. 9 damage.
9 damage. Okay.
Oh, actually, when you hit with a weapon attack, expend 1 superiority die and attempt to disarm the target. It's probably not going to work, but might as well.
Yeah.
You're
Forcing
his
it to
weapon.
drop 1 item
Yeah.
of your choice that it's holding.
Hey,
There it is.
Add a superiority die to the damage roll, and the target must make a strength saving throw. He's probably going to make it. On a failed save, he drops the object.
make him
So
drop that
superiority
sword. It
is
looks
an
really
8.
gnarly.
I'm going to roll that. So that's a not. Is that the 1 or is that the max? That is the max. So 17.
Wait, 17 more damage.
No, 17 DC.
Oh, DC 17.
Yeah.
Strength.
Strength.
Got
Oh, well, sorry, is that plus? No, that would be.
it. Is it plus a lot?
No, not 17.
No, you struggle feebly,
Jeez. All right.
and
This
you're
guy's-
unable to get him to release his thing.
This guy's
Oh.
too strong.
I think there are.
Yeah.
But
I'm
he
getting
actually
word
takes
from the
that
mods
damage
that there's a lot of folks because I didn't write these rules, and so I'm sort of making stuff up on the fly as we go, like the animal handling checks and
fine.
stuff like that. And as long as it seems fair and makes sense to me, then we can revisit stuff afterwards. It's pretty typical. Look stuff up after the game and figure out how does this work, so it doesn't stop the game. But we have, if you want to talk about the rules and how terrible I am at implementing them, I believe we have a whole separate sub-channel just for rules discussion, which we created on purpose. I think it's a room in the chat, which we created on purpose for people to go talk about rule stuff and thereby leave the main chat for discussion of the story and the characters and stuff like that.
Why are we,
and I think that,
are we doing things wrong?
Most likely.
You're doing things wrong.
yeah, well, because I don't worry. I don't want to look stuff up. So when Tom wants to move or javelin lightning, it's like this seems reasonable.
So I
And
think
then
you also add the 8 damage because it says.
I added 8 damage.
Oh, you did?
Yep, one from.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, no, I meant from the superiority die.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
All right. I'm just gonna put the arrow right there for you.
Cool.
I've marked down that it's taking damage 3 times.
Put it over here.
What? Why it's further away?
Well, you're running.
Hashtag
that way, right?
rules
So
is
you-
the people
where-
who want
where
to
do you-
complain
where do you
about how fast and loose we play with the rules.
Well, the channel is intended just to discuss rules as written, not so much as a complaint room.
Well, you know, yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's right in front of you.
Yeah,
That's
but
where I fired
complaining
it.
is so fun.
Yeah, you know, people who have invested a lot of time into learning the rules want to show off that they know the rules,
Yep.
and I completely respect that. And I like playing by the rules. That's the reason I want to have chat available, so when we do stuff wrong, they can be like, "Oh, here, try this out."
Yep.
But it's more like if I make a ruling on the fly and it's not according to the rules, that's no problem. We'll just go back later in the next game and we'll do it right.
Yep.
That's the process of learning the game, and that's something any DM should be comfortable doing. Are you done?
That's my turn. I did everything I can.
So that's the arrow right there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice.
All right. Well, let's see. We are going to cut back to the cinematic because it is now Ajax and Relg's turn.
Oh boy.
Uh-huh.
Bye, schmuck.
So you notice now at this point that either because of Ajax or Relg's presence, there are demons coming out of doors and windows chasing people out of their homes. And you see members of the chain, like you see Angel, fall out or jump out of a second-story tavern window and land on his feet, and this spiked demon sticks his head out, and Angel, who is not completely dressed, is hurling daggers at it and stabbing in the eye and driving it back. And
Angel.
this halfling turns and sees what's going on, and it's down that alleyway. So I don't know,
here.
I think maybe Judge can see him and turns to Judge and goes, the people are running, screaming. All the normal citizens are freaking out.
Can I assign back to Angel?
Sure, actually, you see Cook come bursting out of the double doors of the same tavern, and with a giant meat cleaver, and Cook sees you.
So I think I assigned to him because they both can see me, right? So
Sure.
they're both gonna get the message. So I think I assigned Ajax here, Commander in trouble. Yeah, I don't know.
You tell him to go, bro.
Run!
Fly, you fools.
Yeah.
Relg, with you in his hand, Relg turns to Ajax and says, "Just this one, boss." And Ajax says, "No, kill them all." So as Ajax says that, he kind of floats forward, and you notice all the fog on the ground starts to kind of move and swirl. And it seems as though it's making a vortex centered on Ajax.
Oh boy.
Is it made of rainbows?
It is not. No.
I'm referencing Mom.
Yeah, we already, okay.
He's gonna get
I
rainbows
was
there.
joking.
Does it flap his cape?
No. He doesn't even seem to notice it. It
Tom
swirls and
versus hair.
rotates into this kind of like little whirlwind, a little tiny tornado, a spinning white tornado. That the fog whips around almost like cloth. It's become so solid that the cloth is spinning this thing that was once fog, and a figure materializes
Oh.
out of the fog.
Thanks.
Lady Sarah.
We may need a camera on that.
Yeah.
A beautiful elven. I don't think any of you two have seen this character before. The rest of you have not. This is the woman you met last night. And she is very pale, elven skin, unnaturally pale, bright red lips, bloodshot eyes. And she pulls from the robes of her dress this ornate elven sword that is quite obviously valuable and almost certainly very powerful. Are any of you, none of you guys are elves or have any kind of familiarity with
I'm a
elf
tiny elf.
lore? Probably.
I speak Elvish. But that's it.
I mean, I did grow up in Alloy.
That's true, but you didn't grow up like in near an elf forest, unfortunately.
That's true.
Yeah. She takes this sword and plunges it into Ajax's back. Or
Yeah.
or she would.
Fucking get him.
But Ajax at the last minute steps aside. The sword misses him by an inch, and he grabs it with the jade hand. And using the jade hand, he grabs Orion and pushes Lady Serial down. Like he's trying to force her to kneel.
What a wiener.
Yeah. And he says to Lady Serial, he has a smile on his face, like this is the thing he was waiting for. And he says, your father kneeled to me and lived because he knew this is an age of men. And he moves to clench his fist. And Lady Serial, unyielding, not forced to, unlike her father, who was mortal, she is a vampire lord, and she is strong enough to resist. She does not go to her knees. She pulls out a second elven artifact sword. Ajax clenches his fist, and Orion, the master sword, detonates.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
Lady Serial, the vampire queen, her flesh starts to shred and disintegrate as the energy from the sword is released. And she howls in pain and frustration, and it echoes throughout the city. And the explosion from the destroyed sword turns her body into vapor, and it blows away.
Holy cow.
There is a detonation of this energy, this opalescent energy that rises up into the sky, that fills the air and kind of coruscates across the land. And looking up, seeing the stuff in the sky, the camera pans down, and now in this cutscene, we are looking at a forest, and in the forest are 3 carts. And there's a handful of what look like normal peasant carters. It's dark here, wherever this is, and they are looking up at the sky, and they see this energy wash across the sky. And panning into the 3rd cart, going inside, there's a woman, recumbent, lying in the cart. She has gold skin, she has white hair, and she has hourglasses for eyes. And she's awake. She seems like she's suffering from like some kind of sickness, like what you would expect somebody who had like tuberculosis to have. And her face is kind of twisted in depression and sadness. And she says, Serial, you bitch. And life leaves her body, and her eyes turn back to normal eyes, and her body ages like 1,000 years and slowly collapses in the cart. And then, we're almost done. And then, as though waking from a nightmare, is another woman who sits on a throne in what looks like a mausoleum. And like Lady Serial, she's human, but like Lady Serial, she has pale white skin and red lips and bloodshot eyes, and she's like she just was sleeping and was awoken by some horrible vision. And she looks around her mansion, this dead lady who rules over a dead city, and says, Lady Zorgon. And this black soot manifests immediately into the figure of a lady knight. With this heavy armor, big badass sword, huge helm. You can see her face, and she is filled with hatred being here. Lady Zorgon says, my lady. And this woman says, the game has begun. Bring me the book. And Lady Zorgon kind of sneers. She doesn't like whatever compulsion is on her that forces her to obey. And she says, by your command. And then Relg uses his special attack against a grappled creature.
Oh, no.
Look at that. Let's do it.
What? What?
That's fucking bullshit.
Literally just rolled that.
You were such a
I
fuckface.
literally just rolled that. I hate
on
wasting
his
The
card.
Wink Master.
Yeah,
hate
it's on his
wasting
Oh my
card.
god.
criticals. Stand
Oh, I'm
by.
glad I only printed one sheet, boys.
You can't go home and play Kingdom Hearts, Lars.
No, I
You work here. You work here. You're an employee.
Great time.
Anybody else can leave, but you and Anna have to stay here. Oh god, I think I got all these D8s.
We'll pick you up.
Don't.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, we'll pick you up.
He's gonna own my soul, but you can pick up my.
So, just real
body.
quick, like all that, the cinematic stuff,
You guys didn't see that.
we didn't see.
We didn't see it.
You,
Okay.
you saw it,
But
but your
we
characters didn't.
Meta
Right.
is a meta moment.
Okay.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
I need more D8s.
Don't touch mine.
I don't know why I'm suddenly getting.
You see, I rolled that fancy one.
Oh, that's
And
fine. You're okay.
You notice how good it rolled.
Yeah. Yeah, you make them better.
I didn't roll even dirty pennies.
I got fingerprints on them now. I need to get rid of them.
I don't.
Maybe you can't. Adds to the.
If it's copper,
Oh my god.
it stains.
That's 10. That's 10.
Did you just
Matches my character. He's dirty.
did you just tweet that?
Is that Ajax is a
Yeah.
winner? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just tweeted that.
Hard drive space. Break.
Yeah, we're almost done.
Oh, hiders.
Already.
Excuse me. You can only do this to somebody who's already grappled.
I hope that all of those have like numbers on them and they're not pips that you're having to read.
No, yeah, they're all numbers. I don't have any. I don't think I have any D8s that are pips.
Oh. Oh, D8s. D8s. Oh, they were D6s for some reason.
How many hit points do you have, Brad?
4.
Really? Wait, how do you do a second win?
Oh no, that's
13.
right. I have 13.
You take 68 points of damage.
Okay. Well, I think
I think you're dead.
Unconscious.
What's your total hit points? What's your total hit points?
44.
44? 44? So you go, what were you at, 12?
It was at 13. That's over 44. Oh, you have to do 48, you said?
It's 44 plus
I have
whatever you
44
have
plus, so it's 50. Oh, yeah, you're dead. Phil, can I see your character sheet?
Whoa. Why are you ripping up my character sheet?
Pretty sure he's
Oh, he's changing.
Changing your name.
That. Oh no.
Oh shit.
You just got a field promotion.
Where was that?
Come
You're not gonna do your fuckface hair.
No, I'm going to hang on to this.
You don't get to hang
I'm
on.
going to hang on to this.
No,
Because
fair enough.
Relg starts eating your dead body.
Oh my
God.
Oh,
god.
so sweet. You see him put the commander's head into his jaws and rip. You see the sinew of the commander's neck stretch as his head pops
Whoa.
off. And he starts squeezing the commander's body
Gross.
and drinking its blood.
I don't like this.
Talking takes no time.
Thank you, Blues.
We're about to take a break. We're about to take a break because we're about to run out of hard drive space. And then we'll come back in probably about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Does the new commander have any kind of announcement or order he'd like to before we go on break?
Before we go on break?
Yeah. You're in charge now. You're in charge now, sweet.
Fuck. I think we need to get the fuck out of Dodge.
That sounds reasonable. We'll be back here in about 10, 15 minutes. Thanks, everybody. I have a button. I have a button labeled. We're back. So hopefully now
We're
people can. Yeah. Well, this is a conversation, by the way, that we should have.
My girlfriend just texted me and said, "Oh, Red's last name is Shirt."
The commander's nickname
That
is
was
Red. before he became
that was a
commander.
comment from.
Yeah, I
from
don't know if people
Twitch.
saw that. Welcome back. I guess something I wanted to point out was this dope ass table that we have that I bought even before we had the Kickstarter is from Rathskellers, and I feel like it's doing pretty good. So thanks to the folks at Rathskellers. It's not an ad or a product endorsement or anything. I just like their table. Also, largely there's a reason for what I'm about to announce because we have a whole bunch of people in our community who are super awesome and who regularly gift subscriptions, and I think at least some of them they explain that like it's because this is the only way we have to like give you money besides to support your content besides our own $5 subscription or the Strongholds and Followers book. So I have we've created a Patreon. We now have a Patreon at Patreon/MCDM. I think there are 2 levels, $5 and $10 a month, and we will come up with some rewards. I don't know what off the top of my head, but I just wanted to, because like Twitch takes half of your subscriptions, which I understand they've got a business to run, but I wanted to give those few people who wanted to give us more money the opportunity to do that, because that keeps we made a lot of money off the Kickstarter, but that money is going to run out, and it's revenue that is going to keep the doors open ultimately. So we do have a Patreon, and also people who have Amazon Prime get a free Twitch subscription that they can throw to a streamer once a month, and they have to manually do it each month. But if you link your Amazon and your Twitch accounts, those of you who've been following my NetHack streams already know this. You can subscribe with Twitch Prime free, doesn't cost you anything, and we get some money. So that is going to help keep the doors open and the lights on. And we'll be playing D&D either way, but our capacity to make awesome content, who knows? What were we talking about before we went on break?
I said we got to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
No. I was asking Lars, are you going to roll new stats? I said you could just use. I don't know if you saw this, but Lars is like, hey, that's bullshit. I literally only got to play this dude for 1 round. He's dead. I'm not going to roll new stats. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know. I don't remember what your stats are. So if you want to roll and thereby maybe get better stats, you can do that. But then you're stuck with what you get. Or if you want to keep what you rolled, because your character had actually a life expectancy, as it turned out, of about 2 rounds, then go ahead and do that. And he said he was thinking about playing. Actually, he has a retainer.
I have my retainer.
He has a retainer. These are, in order to simulate, I think some of you already know this, in order to simulate the idea that the chain is a mercenary company, and these are just the senior officers, and there are junior officers, and then a whole bunch of people, soldiers, we're using the retainer rules from Strongholds and Followers. So King is one of the retainers, and I didn't think there necessarily needed to be a direct correlation between the player creating the retainers and them running it. These are just the junior officers in the chain. But King is the one retainer that Lars made. King is an exorcist, and that's where we left this. You don't know what kind of cleric King's going to turn into, but if you want to, you can run, and we will just assume that King is a 5th level cleric of some sort. But there could be combat coming up, in which case we're not actually going to know what his stats are. And a 3rd level retainer will not survive that combat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to die right this second.
Okay,
so I'm gonna figure out what I'm playing.
Okay, so King is going to stick around with the other retainers, who are the junior officers of the chain are all looking to the new commander, and the commander has said we got to get the fuck out of Dodge. But how does the commander express that?
All right, so Black Bottom is a port city.
Correct.
And they are destroying Black Bottom.
Yes.
Like the whole city.
You can't see the whole city, but you can see the Hawk Lords are flying around, kind of doing their thing. And this is,
Okay. What direction?
You said this way somewhere.
What direction is? Let's see here. What
There are-
direction is the harbor?
That way.
This
that
one.
Uh-huh.
All right, and who is closest?
It's this way?
Judge maybe?
Yeah, I am. I'm on my way. I'm going to pick up that arrow and keep going.
All right.
So at this point, go ahead. If you like, because Relg is not particularly interested in which people he attacks or eats. And Ajax is gloating over the death of Lady Serial. So at this point, if you guys want to retreat, you can, and you can get out of this combat. But then what you do next is up to you.
Like I said, I don't think we can beat this guy. And like, there's demons all over the city.
Yeah. It's not going to be...
People are scattered to the
I
wind.
feel like morale has taken a hit after watching our commander.
Yeah, and you can see that there are members of the chain. There are soldiers in the chain. The chain has about, if you guys were fighting an army, you'd have about 3 units of infantry. Maybe one of those units would be special, like sappers or scouts or something like that. These guys are taking heavy morale hits right now. Members of the chain, have seen the commander die. They're like, the commander's dead, run! And it looks as though this is going to be a rout.
All right, so where's the Chronicle?
The Chronicle is with this guy. King is the Chronicle.
And where is he?
He is, on one of these streets. The retainers are always going to be like one encounter behind you guys, right? So they're going to follow you, and they're going to go, and they're going to do what you say. But they are trying to. They're the junior officers. They're trying to stop the rest of the chain from completely disintegrating and salvage at least 1 unit of soldiers. So you guys are always going to kind of be 1 step ahead of them, but they will follow you.
All right.
So
maybe
one
I
question real
should.
quick before.
Maybe I
Is
should.
all of the chain here, or
Yes.
is this? So, okay, it's
all
all of
the
the
chain
chain
is
is
in
here.
Black
Got it.
Bottom.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank
They're
you.
like I
how,
said,
how
there's
many? How much? How many?
There's about 360 soldiers. They actually call themselves, like only recently they've started doing this, and it probably won't last much longer, but they call themselves days, because it's about how many days there are in the year. They call themselves the calendar. And they started to call units months, but that was just them being clever, and there's no way all 360 of them are going to survive this.
All right, so Anna's character is closest to the harbor.
Yep.
And the arrow.
And the arrow.
Yeah,
that I
picking up
fired.
that
And the arrow.
Yep.
So what I'm thinking is that you need to get to the harbor
And get us a boat.
commandeer a ship.
I can do that.
Even if you got,
Are there any? There might
convince
be.
them.
I don't know. I
convince
don't know
them.
your retainers. Well, there might be retainers who would be good at.
Like sailor back. Oh, I guess they're not.
Right, but they're not here.
No, they're.
Well, Angel
they're
was out here.
they're one encounter behind you guys. So when you guys get to wherever you're going, if there's a battle there, they won't be in the battle. But when that battle's over, because remember, a battle might last. If a long battle might last 30
Right.
seconds.
Well, obviously,
they'll
I mean, I
actually-
think we're not going to be far behind her character, Anna's character. But I mean, we're over here. We're not going to be able to take that road, right? We're going to take a different road. We're going to have to go around or something.
Oh, this way.
Don't worry about me. I can definitely use my looks to get us a boat.
Whatever
By that
it
I mean
takes.
scare the shit out of somebody.
Where's the treasury?
Actually, I don't know who the treasurer is right now. I don't know if you selected one. But if you guys, where are you trying to get to?
The harbor
The docks?
to get a boat.
Okay.
And
So
get out of.
Can the treasury be with 2 shoes?
sure, yeah,
She
just go
seems
ahead.
like the kind to-
Just so the way the treasury works is it's literally a giant box full of gold and gems. And it's a giant lockbox. It takes at least 2 people to carry it, 2 strong people. And so it's got a size, how much gold is in it, measured by a d6, and anything you could buy has a rating of a suit of armor might be a 1, right? Buying a galleon might be a 6, right? Like we need to pay off a prince. That might be a 6. And so depending on what you're using the treasury for, that would either decrement the die, or if it's cheap enough, if the treasury is currently at like a 6 and what you wanted to buy is a 1, you wouldn't even need to do anything. You can just afford it and you get it. And somebody with a really high charisma could negotiate and try to get the cost level of something down 1.
I don't think we
for
have time
instance.
to negotiate.
But just 2 shoes can. Two
Okay.
shoes can definitely be the treasurer for now, and maybe forever.
All right, so then you're the standard bearer, right?
I've got a guy who
I
might
just
know a
say-
guy.
A guy who might know a guy.
Is it one of your retainers?
Yes.
Which one? I don't know which are yours.
Boots.
Boots.
All right. Well, I mean.
Oh yeah, the duelist. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So what I think I want to do is I want Copper to book it on on Big Cat and
Okay.
catch up with Anna, right? Or with Judge. Judge will get us a ship. You can, use the treasury. Don't use it all. Try to you know.
I hope we don't have to use any of it.
If Copper catches up to him, then when you get to the ship, you can raise the standard so that all of our guys know where to go.
yeah.
As many of our guys as we can
Yeah.
know where to go.
Are you communicating what your goal is to the junior officers and the rest of the chain?
Yeah, I'm probably using chain sign
Really? Okay.
as much. Well, I mean, because I don't want those guys to hear what we're doing, right?
Fair enough. More like spread the word, like tell everybody, and you're being discreet.
Yeah,
So
and
you're-
and it's basically like put the word out to get to the docks.
Okay, well, getting to the docks is going to, because the city is now literally on fire, because there are demons running through the streets. And those of you who have fought demons before, these aren't, it's nothing like this. Right? They're the kind of things that you would expect to fight and probably deal with normally, but for peasants, they're being ripped apart.
Right.
Getting from here to the docks is going to be a skill challenge. Right? So skill challenge is something from 4th edition that I quite like. And what we do is you guys use your skills to describe to me how your character can make it easier to get to the docks without getting in a fight. Right? And
go through
you and only each this is cool. So you have to get 6 successes before you get 3 failures. You're going to get to the docks. Right? That's not an issue. The question is what happens once you get there? Is there a ton of demons there because it took you guys too long to get there, or did you guys get there ahead of this wave of chaos that's rippling through the city? So you're going to get there no matter what. The skills you use, you have to be trained in the skill. You have to be proficient in the skill, and each person can only try each skill, right? Each skill once, right? So if you tried, I'll give you a couple examples. Like if somebody wanted to use, there are gates throughout the city. And the city guard are closing the gates, trying to stem the tide and stop the demons from getting from one quarter of the city to another. You could, for instance, use your athletics to try to bend bars and lift gates and open one of these gates. And that would, if you made it, that would be a success. That's
correct.
But if you failed, then you waste time with this thing. It turns out to be too heavy and you accumulate a failure. So it's always a risk-reward scenario. But sooner or later, you got to get 6 successes. The only question is, can you do it without getting any failures? And in fact, I don't know if this is going to work, but chat is going to take the role of the citizens of Black Bottom. And they are going to have some effect over your successes or failures because it's up to them to decide how do the citizens of Black Bottom react to what's happening. There should be a straw poll. I know that Jerry is super overloaded right now. But I will check and see. There should be a straw poll where they have 3 options.
Give me a minute.
I just heard the voice of God say, "Give me a minute." Your 3 options. Don't bother voting in chat right now because there's no way to track everybody voting. But you're gonna get 3 options. Also, Phil, correct me if I'm wrong, but Sweet is from Black Bottom. All right, it's been a long time since you've been here. Stuff has changed, and Black Bottom was always notoriously squirrely to get around. It was never designed to be a big city. It grew that way.
Doesn't matter.
But you will be able to convert one failure into a success.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Well, let me just tell you, I've got a couple skills that
I wanna hear, yeah.
This one,
You might be the guy. You might make all 6 of them.
my background feature.
Yes.
My urchin background
That's
feature
cool.
gives me the city secrets, which
Woo!
when I'm not in combat, I and any companions that I lead can travel between 2 locations in the city twice as fast as my speed would normally allow. In addition to that, as a pugilist, I have street smart. So basically,
That's super cool.
once I have caroused in a settlement for 8 hours or more, which I mean,
Oh, yeah, you
we've
guys have been here
a
for like 3
while,
days, yeah.
right? I know all public
You mean
locations in the city as if I were born and raised there, and you cannot be lost by non-magical means while within the city. I mean, I was born and raised here.
You were born and raised here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use the board here to mark successes or failures. You guys need to get 1, 2, 3. This is terrible. This is a terrible idea. Where's my eraser? Here we go.
You could set up a little whiteboard here.
Yeah.
I have a really quick question.
Yeah.
Can I cast invisibility on myself for this? As a means to get through without attracting anything?
If you have
Well,
investigation,
yeah, but are
maybe.
you trying? Yeah, you can. Sure, yeah. And here are 3 failures. So you guys are trying to get 6 successes before you get 3 failures. At which point the skill challenge ends. And
And this
because of your background, you guys already have a success.
This is total between all of us?
Correct.
Got it, okay.
Yeah, you can cast invisibility. Yes. But is that going to help the chain get through? Like his.
Oh, this is like a company skill
It's what we
check.
used to call the A-team scene. That is
see.
now an obscure reference, but it is you guys moving together as a group. So you being invisible
okay.
means that you're not going to have a problem getting to the docks, but if you want to leave these people behind, then
You know, if she doesn't have that, if Judge doesn't have that skill, we might actually be able to catch up with Judge somewhere over here, and then go as a team, go as a group.
there are lots of different ways to use skills I have written down, but it's up to you guys to kind of. I can give you some examples. Like I gave you that one. You know, you could. It's up to you to determine how do I use my skills to do this. But there's a bunch of different scenarios. Like you could use perception to notice an empty building that you could cut through. So it's up to you guys to. This is your opportunity to use your skills creatively. How could you use the things you're proficient at to get to the city more quickly?
Do we have to use a different skill every time, or is it like each one of
Each
those
player,
players is one of us?
each player can only use each skill once.
Okay.
But like, let's imagine you all have athletics, right? You could each individually try to break through these gates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can definitely intimidate my way through and make sure that we all get through.
Intimidation is, that would be great. Yeah, there's definitely guards that are trying to stop people from moving through the city, and you could make an intimidate check. And the thing is, if you make it, the guards are going to help you try to get through. That's a success. If you fail, the guards try to stop you, and now you've got it's not going to be a combat. You could probably dispatch the city guard pretty easily, especially with all you guys. But that takes time. That's a failure.
Got it.
Is there any?
So intimidation would totally work.
Is there any? So I can move through non-magical terrain. I can move through difficult terrain. Doesn't
Correct.
affect me. If I'm alone, you can move through it stealthily at normal pace, so it doesn't slow me. I don't know if there's any situations where.
Well, this is just regular everyday terrain.
Oh, I didn't know if like the
Right.
destroyed buildings would have been like doing something. Or...
You could combine that with like an investigation check to see, can I find a building
Yeah.
that is ruined that these guys wouldn't be able to get by, but if they follow me, they can get through. But that would require you making an investigation check to see, do I notice, can I determine that there is terrain like that, so that you could then use your special ability to lead the rest of the group. And there's no requirement that you have to do.
Yeah.
Right.
I could just persuade these guys.
Yeah, persuasion.
Hand on the shoulder. Listen, man. Don't know if you noticed, but
Well, I've
really
got
not
the
a whole
athlet-
lot
I've-
left.
I've got the athletics check covered.
Recruit them. They got to get out. This whole city's getting wiped.
Yeah, exactly.
We need people.
Thought about joining a gang of mercenaries. And
Yeah.
Would you like to live today?
Yeah.
How's your
That's
day
actually a good point. Is that part of the theme of this campaign is rebuilding the company? Because you guys there have been times in your memory where there were 10,000 soldiers in the chain. You're at kind of a low ebb at only 300. So if you're ever going to do anything about what happened today, you're going to need more soldiers.
The last time that it was this bad, was it at Alloy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fall of Alloy.
Yeah.
All right, so
Let's see.
let's do it.
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's up to you guys. I've described the scenario. It's up to you
Okay.
to take the initiative and just start rolling. Just start telling me what skills you want to use. There's no order to it. There's no initiative. It is the.
You want to persuade
Recruit
Persuade
people.
them and recruit them and
for the first
take
challenge?
them with you. Yeah. Scare the
It's
city
great.
guards into getting on the ship with us.
47%. So as you guys move through the city, and King, for instance, is mentioning, hey, we should try to like see if we can, recruit any of these people. Like these city guards, they must be the city is going crazy. It is now just nothing but a collection of grabastic amphibian shit. Because the chat decided that it was 47% voted for the city is we're all gonna die.
It's like looting
Yeah,
and
so
stuff.
they had the option that the citizens could try to help you guys, right, which would have gotten you a success, or that the citizens could decide we want to live and therefore we're going to help Ajax, and that would have gotten you guys a failure.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but because they basically voted
Neutral.
that
Thank you for panicking.
they basically voted and they
Well,
didn't. By the way,
look at this guy.
they didn't know that. They only
Right.
knew what they were role
Right.
playing. I'm in charge of interpreting
Right.
their reactions.
All right. Well, do your thing.
So describe how you're going to use your skill?
I'm going to use persuasion
Yeah, that sounds good.
to sway everybody to help us get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, there's as you guys, because you guys are by far the most organized thing happening in the city right now, and there are 3 guards that try to stop you from going, and they're saying stuff like martial law and get into buildings for your own safety and that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they're gonna hold you up unless you go ahead and roll.
16
You have no bonus to persuasion.
plus 7.
There we go. Yeah, that 16 would have been enough. These guys are just normal city guards. So what is it you say to them? What does Nail say?
I take a long pull on my cigarette. Listen, guys, this day's not going to get any better.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a note that. In fact, I need to write down that's gonna help with the side. These where they're like, all right, well then we're with you.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, guy walks up to you, he's like, look, you know, I mean, that's, well,
In the middle
that
of all
was
this
one
chaos.
cool cat.
There's a sense of,
Yeah.
definitely a sense of gravitas
People are
that you're
just
just
like-
Well, I mean,
like,
look
oh,
at
you're
you
right.
guys.
out.
Like you guys are like more competent than even like the captains of the guards in the city.
I can just see him like walking through the crowd. Everyone's freaking out. He's just like,
Yeah.
I find that apple that I stole, take a bite. Hey, that was mine. Hey.
Well, I guess
All right, so that's you guys got another success.
I did get 2 apples out of it.
all right, well, any of the strengthy stuff, I can go for that.
Go ahead and make a shot. There's a closed city gate before you, and it's like it's not, it's light, but it's like 16 feet high, and so moving it, it's made out of wood.
Ooh, that's nice.
18.
Plus 8.
Yeah, look at
So
that.
that's 26.
Yeah. So
What was the
with
gate
your-
made out of?
It was made out of wood.
Oh, yeah, I fucking smashed it.
Yeah.
Now it's made of
Yeah,
toothpicks.
so you just punch it like so the commander now the Commander Sweet just runs up to this thing.
Commander
and,
Sweet. That's got a good.
it's
That's got a good ring
right?
to it.
And he just clocks it, right? He's not. There's no kung
punches
fu.
the gate?
He literally like is a boxer, and he just punches the thing, and the thing explodes because he's got a belt of hill giant strength. He's one. Apart from what's happening here,
And he hits
he's one of
pretty
those-
hard anyways.
Yeah.
About it, so.
Yeah, so the wood just splinters into a million pieces, and now there is literally no gate. And there are watchtowers in the gate, and one of the guards is watching this, and he goes, "Ah!" and he tumbles and falls off and smacks his head on the ground and is knocked out. Just purely based on
Take him. Take him. Metal Gear Solid 5, you gotta steal him. Phil.
he's now unconscious.
calling the
You
thing.
guys, I just marked that as a success, correct?
I don't want. Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
it.
I don't want any guy in the company that's gonna faint over that.
He didn't faint, he fell out of a building.
Well, because he was kind of like
Not
he was kind of
worthy.
gobsmacked by what you just did and was kind of leaning over to watch, and then kind of the moment got away from him. Does anybody else have any other stuff they might think of? Any other uses for their skills? I would ask Lars, except he's dead.
I can't like Mufasa down.
I don't know what that means, bro.
You haven't seen that? Oh my god.
I've seen Lion King.
So
but I
wait,
saw it
we
once.
each get one skill. We can only use one skill. A skill
Each
once.
skill once. You can use as
Oh.
many skills as you
Gotcha.
want.
I can
but you
also persuade then in that case.
Okay, go for it.
Well, I want to intimidate first, 'cause that's fun.
Okay, yeah.
So.
There's a guard
the scenario?
captain. Yeah, a guard captain stands before you and says, by order of the Lord Mayor, no one can move through this gate.
Well, either the demons get you or I do, so let us through.
There are demons running around.
That is a 27.
What did you roll?
16.
Are you serious?
And plus 11.
You're holy
Holy
shit.
All right,
Balls.
we're doing our
Whoa.
proficient,
Wait, what?
proficient skills.
Yeah, that's my ill rigor ability. I believe it's called forked tongue.
Oh, that's right. You have forked
Damn.
tongue. She has
Wait,
forked
what?
tongue. She gets to add double her proficiency modifier when she's making persuasion checks.
Oh,
Deception,
wow.
Did that guy
intimidation,
just
and
like cry
persuasion.
and pee?
Holy
Like
wow.
what do you
Yeah,
do?
he sees the demons and he's like, "What is your command?"
We're going down to the harbor and we're going to get a boat.
He's following you guys. You guys are
Nice.
slowly accumulating guards.
All right.
And by the way, these are guards they're like first level or
Yeah.
fighters. They're perfect recruits for the chain, and they know who the chain are famous. They know who you guys are. So
What else do I got?
Being a ranger, I feel like I should be able to do some sort of perception thing to
well, you
navigate
could.
our way.
You are correct, Tom. You could.
Like knowing.
You could make a survival check
Okay.
and see if you could lead the group through the sewers. That would do quite a
Oh.
lot
Yeah.
because there might not be any demons down there.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Okay.
Oops, I threw that way too far.
What was Is that 11?
It's a 9.
Oh.
9, 13. 9.
13? These DCs aren't that hard. Actually, 13 is the DC for this. Yeah, there's a sewer entrance that's got an iron cover over it, and you're a goblin. You're
Found a way.
Yeah, no problem. So how do you communicate to these guys that this would be a faster, safer way to get through the city?
I feel like with this, something to do with the banner, maybe like.
That's a good idea.
Like I have the banner and maybe I raise it and I somehow by signal. You know how they have those traffic cone signals? Like I somehow
sure.
I
Yeah,
somehow like go like this.
Right.
Air traffic control.
Yeah.
Well, you could do something like have Big Cat run in a circle so people see the banner.
Oh yeah. That means like come here or something. Like I found a way. Yeah.
So yeah, the rest of the chain, including all the junior officers and the people that they are leading, see Copper on Big Cat spinning around, and then the tentacles, Big Cat's tentacles, and grab this manhole cover and go boop and pull it off, and Copper and Big Cat jump into the sewer. Do you guys follow?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that a faster way?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Well, just because, like I said, my guy knows this city really well.
Super Trooper 86. Can we panic again? I think they're gonna make it.
I have a really strong deception as well, so I could throw that as our
Let's see.
last.
Stand by.
I have a quick question about my forked tongue thing. So, deception. I'm not proficient in it, so I would not double proficiency for deception. Is that correct?
Correct. You have to be proficient in the skill to try.
That's what I thought. Okay. I don't lie.
So let's see. What you were saying? Deception? Who has deception?
I do.
Is it you?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a patrol that is there's a band of demons wandering through the city, and they look in your direction, but they don't immediately appear to recognize that you guys are who they're looking for.
Who are they looking for?
Well, they're almost certainly looking for you guys, but
the
they've been
chain.
given
I see.
orders, but they don't necessarily recognize
they don't know that
one
it's
human
us.
from another, and that that's you guys. So there's a moment where they pause.
I would cast a minor illusion down an alleyway adjacent to them.
That sounds
and,
good.
And create the sound of rallying members of the chain.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
cool.
go ahead and make a deception check. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, these demons hear that and they are immediately drawn to it, and they bark and gabble in their heathen lingo and start charging down an alleyway. And okay, so you guys go through the sewers for like, I don't know, it's probably like 10 minutes because this is a big city, right? But you are booking it and there's no one down here. Right? It smells bad. The smell of awful is in your nose, and now you're knee deep in the waste of the city. But
Can I just say, as we're going through it, I actually think it smells pretty good.
yeah, Goblin's happy to I can call it Goblin. Yeah,
I
Copper's
thought you
happy
were
to
gonna
play.
say, I hope there's no leeches down here.
Oh no.
That's right. That was you last time.
Yeah, it was.
So when they were playing and they were on a raft and they had to make a skill check in a swamp. Somebody
right.
failed their skill check and fell into the swamp. It was Tom who said, "I
Are
don't
there
think there are any leeches in there." And I was like, "Oh,
Roll
great
first.
idea." Yeah. So Copper's like, "Oh, this is great." And then you guys emerge from the sewers. And so was that?
Do we get it? We need one more.
I-
I think
'cause
from
one
more.
Tom's.
We didn't mark the
We
sewer
didn't
one.
mark the sewer
Oh, is
one.
it the sewer one?
So you guys are going to get there with little problem. It is
unless
already
we start
10:24.
failing really
What time did we
quick.
start? 7, 8, 9, 10. We played for like 2.5 hours before the break. So we're getting, okay. You guys, as you emerge from the sewers, you can see the masts of ships, right? But it's still quite a ways away, many buildings. So you're definitely going in the right direction. And that's when you see the band of demons, and that's when Nails casts Distraction, and the demons all book it. And I believe that's your 6th success, correct?
I did.
That was yes. So look at that. That was easy. You guys didn't even. Now, by the way, I believe that is an easy skill challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Like a hard skill challenge would be something like, it's always 3 failures ends it, but a hard skill challenge would be you need 12 successes. Right?
Well,
But given the circumstance,
they don't just increase the DC?
No, the DC depends on the skill you're using and what you're trying to do. Each skill you're trying to use, the scenario has a different DC. So there might be, so for instance, like if you could have come up with a way to use Arcana in this, it probably would have been weird and obscure and not super relevant to escaping a city.
Oh,
and so,
I see.
so if
More
it were
difficult.
allowed, that would be a very high DC, right? But a lot of the stuff you guys did was really straightforward and escaping the city in a scenario like this. However, it wouldn't have, it would not have, yeah, it would have been easy for you guys to accumulate some failures. But you managed to do so without doing that. Let's see.
Cool.
So yeah, you guys make it to the docks.
Oh, okay.
In fact, let's you guys aren't here anymore, so let's get rid of
Oh,
our
careful
guests.
with this arm.
So yeah, I need to glue this arm back on. All right. Goodbye, Rel. We may see you again later in this campaign.
Oh, great.
Goodbye, Ajax the Invincible.
See you in the first
You are
episode and the
certainly
last.
still invincible.
I'm very
Sigurd's gonna get
colorful.
that motherfucker someday.
Well,
Whoever gets
not,
returned
if,
to
not,
that
if King,
campaign.
not if King doesn't get him first.
Yeah, goodbye, smoke.
Goodbye, smoke. Aftermath of a church.
Here, this is Anna. Thank you. You may do with that as you wish.
Just put it on my smoke.
This character's
Watch
dead,
it over
correct?
here.
Yep.
You got a mini painted and everything. We got all that art for your dude and he died.
That's
What a waste,
alright.
what a waste of money.
That's alright. I'm gonna invade another D&D campaign and bring him back.
Be careful, you're pulling one of them.
I'm pulling one at once.
One of the little tripods that holds all the curtains.
Okay.
Whoa!
Whoa, cool.
Should we move our guys out of the way?
Hey, I recognize that
There's
shit.
like, you know, people and stuff.
Hello.
Nice.
How I spent my weekend.
Sweet.
No,
That
that's
turned out
sweet.
cool.
Come here, chat.
Sweet.
What?
Whoa.
We're saying it's sweet.
That's
Can you be Lieutenant Commander Sweet?
No, me sweet.
No,
That boat.
I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to name a new commander or a new
Oh.
lieutenant.
That's true.
Lars
That's
is
true.
new. Lars is new. King.
I'll have a new character. I'll make him
Yeah.
cool enough.
Your dice.
Does this move? Well, I don't. Does it
Get
move?
that
Does that does not move. No, actually, none of the parts really move. Although
It still
you
does
can
the parts.
Ooh.
Like,
you can pick it up,
Come here.
and it does. It does.
Oh, sorry.
did you
Oh, whoa.
did you goof and glue it somewhere?
No,
There you go.
it's just sticky. Not sticky, but like.
Kind of tuck it.
Yeah, the layers are
Snaps
really interesting. That's the main reason that.
So you can separate.
So you can have
it.
different fights on
Yeah,
different.
you can have a running battle that went from one level to the next.
Cool.
Yeah, this is Dark Ops is the name of the company, and this is the Seawolf. And I don't remember how much this was, but it's pretty cool. And apart from the masts, which are very tricky, and actually some of these are not glued in. Some of these would just come off if you took them off. It was really easy to put together. It took like 5 hours to do everything but the masts, and then it probably took another 3 or 4 hours to do the masts, only because, like I said, it was really tricky. And the number one problem is the dowels. The dowels, like all of these parts, Dark Ops makes, and they come on a thing, and you punch them out, and they are machined very precisely. But the dowels, they just order. And so they come, it's like, oh, this one's 9 millimeters thick, but actually it's 12.
Right,
And
right.
I spent most of my time, as Anna will attest to, sanding these things.
Oh, wow.
Get them to fit. Anyway. Blah,
You're
blah.
not gonna tell them about your special made name.
Oh, well, you
I
haven't
know.
got
Put it in
We haven't
the
got
thing.
there yet. We
you
haven't
haven't
got there
got
yet.
there yet, bro.
Don't show it to him.
I already showed him on this.
Wow.
Anyway.
Tactical stream.
So you guys are ahead of the junior officers, who themselves are ahead of the rest of the company. But you are now at the docks. And what was Boots saying? What was Boots when he's like, we got to get to the docks, and you're like, I know a guy.
I know a guy.
Okay.
Well, it is a lady, in fact, Lady Anne Margaret Massingham, captain of the Rosa Cielo.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so Boots is correct me if I'm wrong. Boots is like a swashbuckler, duelist, kind of. Is he Riohan?
Yes, he's Riohan.
Okay.
He's from Capital.
Oh, that's useful. You should make that guy your character. So yeah, Boots. Boots knows the captain of the Rosso Cielo, and that is the so Boots is like, like he said, I know a guy. And the Rosso Cielo is it's one of the largest ships in harbor. Now there is basically an army of people running to these ships. Right? All of these ships they want to get on these things, right? They want to leave, and the crew of the Rosso Cielo are mostly Riojan, and they are in the process of like loading cargo. And they're looking at you guys running toward them, and they're all these Riojans typically have like dark skin and dark hair, and they dress especially their sailors dress really flamboyantly, and you can see them all in the rigging and stuff, working this large, what's what I'm looking for?
Crane.
Crane, yeah, basically working a large wooden crane with weights on one end, and they all stop, and they're like, "What the hell is going on?" So let's see. What does Boots say? What does Boots do? What do Boots do?
What do boots do?
There is a
They're
plank.
made for walking.
There is a plank that goes up to the. I mean, that's in dock. It's not going anywhere right this second, but it's getting ready to leave.
Boots runs up the plank and demands to speak to Lady Anne Margaret.
As you start running up the plank, the crew members all call for somebody whose name you recognize, Godesto. Godesto is the first mate, and this, naked to the waist, earring beclad Riojan with a bandana around his neck and this kind of almost this very flamboyant mustache says, "Hold there, friend. Don't I know you?"
Godesto, my boy.
Oh God. What is Boots's? Actually, I don't know if there's. No, he probably wouldn't know your real name, but he calls you by some other nickname, right? Because you probably used some weird alias the last time you were here.
Several.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he remembers. He remembers one of those, and he says, "What do you have to do with this?"
Well, I'm,
He's trying to stop you from getting on the ship, so you can just make a persuasion check to see if you can get past this guy,
all right.
and see if you can talk to the captain.
Listen, my friend, remember that one time with that one thing when I really helped you out? Now I need to call
That's
in
not
a
how I
favor.
remember it. This is not how I remember it.
Persuasion?
I do not remember. I remember you being quite a pain in the unmentionable. Yeah, go ahead.
Plus
Ooh, it's a
something.
14.
Well, you do know him, and he does
Well,
remember.
it's
you.
more than that.
Plus.
Maybe
So
more
what's,
than that.
14 is
what's he
his base.
proficient in?
Oh, it's that guy. Sorry.
Here, let me see Boots.
Boots.
Does he have charisma?
He might not be proficient.
Okay,
in,
so
no,
it's just that.
He does have charisma, so he's going to be. I think what's the rule? He's going to be +2 with charisma. Oh, it's plus. Is it +3 with charisma and +6 with these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
believe
you
that's
get +3 from charisma.
So he has 17.
That's
total.
17.
Oops, sorry. And you remembered the captain's name, right?
Yes.
Do you use that when you're talking to this guy, like to impress him with your? Like,
Oh, of course.
Okay, so definitely, reminding Godesto of your relationship with Captain Massingham will get you on when he's like, Captain. And so meanwhile, what are you guys doing, by the way? Are you guys walking up the plank? Or are you guys waiting at the base on the docks, waiting to see what happens?
Well, I mean, I think the standard bearer needs to be getting, like, making
I'm running
sure
up and
that,
down, maybe.
making
calling
sure that our
people.
guys,
Yeah.
any of our guys that are coming, know to get here. I think
Flagging them
that
in.
we need to make sure that whoever our chronicler is,
Yeah, King.
Keen.
King, is.
Well, you guys made it
somewhere
with
here.
no failures. So that means not only does, obviously, the standard bearer makes it, but it means King makes it. It also means the treasurer makes it.
Oh, okay.
Because one of the things you guys could have done is if you needed to, you could have jettisoned the treasury in order to convert a failure into a success.
Oh, screw
But
that.
you guys didn't need to
Yeah.
worry about that.
I think we need to start. I think we just start getting on the ship.
Well, there's a whole bunch. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I think.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it depends on on Boots' success,
Right.
right? Because if Boots is not being successful, then I mean, I think we're just going to push our way.
Well,
on.
these guys, these sailors are all armed, right? They all have falchions, right, that they have at their hip, and so they're basically like a unit of infantry on their own, right? They're light infantry. So if they wanted to stop you, especially just like the 5 of you, there would be a fight. Now you guys are a lot more experienced than a bunch of sailors on the ship, but they're watching. Godesto seems to be negotiating.
Okay, good.
Like, even if
I'm
you're
gonna
not-
let him do his thing.
Yeah, even
And
if
I
you're
don't-
he's like,
don't-
but he's not saying kill this man, right?
Right.
And there are guys with crossbows. They don't use bows. There are guys with crossbows. No one's firing, and there does seem to be a tete-a-tete between Cadesto and Boots.
Okay, well, definitely bring the treasury up closer.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, the junior officers. Actually, it's Two Shoes, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Two Shoes will have the treasury brought up as a giant chest, go thump on and all of the sailors all stop and go,
Yeah.
because it's a suspiciously large treasure-shaped chest.
Ooh, maybe we shouldn't have heard it.
No,
might be worth
I'm not worried about
interjecting
those
that,
fuckers.
So
Everybody's gonna die unless they get
I'm
out of
thinking
there.
that
So
they're
you
gonna
can
charge
tell
us a lot
them.
of money.
Tell them.
Well,
what's
this
going on.
catches this will get their attention. It'll let them know that we can pay.
you see a
Spark
bunch
their
of
curiosity.
just regular citizens,
Mm-hmm.
many of them not fully dressed. It's not yet even 6:30 in the morning, running at this ship, and the
They don't get to come.
okay. How do you?
You want me
Okay.
to hold them off?
Well, are any of our men here?
Oh yeah, so it's taking time, but
Right.
slowly more and more members.
Right, so, I
but it's
mean,
probably
I-
going to take like hours to get everybody in the chain, and there's no way.
Well,
this-
I don't know that we have
Yeah.
ours, right?
But
But I mean,
it's-
any of the soldiers that are here, I think they need to, this is our ship, right?
So the sailors, when they see these guys coming, all aim their crossbows at these citizens. But when they see you commanding Copper to hold these guys off, what does Copper do?
So the soldiers are trying to get on.
No,
Sorry,
no,
just catch up?
regular everyday people are trying to get on.
No,
Like
our
a-
guys,
oh,
can, our
like
guys
a mob.
can get on.
Got
like
it.
a mob
Yeah.
of people are trying
Yeah.
to get
I
on
can
the
hold
ship.
them. I can try and hold them off if that's.
How are you going to do that?
Yeah.
I got a big cat.
Fair enough. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So as these these guys, this mob of people, which is growing by the moment, is like it's like water,
Yeah.
right? And so if you give the command
Yeah.
from the you probably have like using just animal handling and your position and your heels and stuff like that.
get as big as I
and
can.
Big Cat knows you really well. But
Yeah.
he stands up and he flays
Yeah.
his two tentacles, and they shudder, and the people just stop. Go ahead.
I don't know if I could just do this to roleplay, but like displacement. So
Oh yeah,
it's
sure.
true with me. Yeah.
So now there's like it's hard to see. It looks almost as though he's melding into the etheric plane or something
Yeah.
as this figure goes brrr, and stretches and smears across reality, and the people stop, and they look, and there's another boat over there.
And they go.
And they all start running toward the other boat, and they fork, and they're just like screw it. They're just going on the path of least resistance.
That's right.
So this woman approaches, and these guys can't, but you can hear her heavy boot steps, and she is dressed like a Vaslorian. She is of Vaslorian descent. She is a big lady, right? She's like 6 feet tall. She's wide, and she's got this kind of classic tricorn captain's hat on. She's got hair that maybe it was red once before she spent a lifetime in the sun, but now it's super bleached. It's like strawberry blonde. It's like flax just sticking out from under her head. She has big red cheeks. She has freckles. And she's like, Boots! What the hell are you doing here?
Lady Massingham, it has been far too long.
Well, I do remember our last meeting with fondness.
As do I. In fact, I wish that we were meeting again on happier circumstances. But
Shoot. Is this your fault? Did you do this? The city's like on fire, right? There's a giant floating citadel hanging over everything. You guys, by the way, are now out from underneath that,
Okay.
right? The float you can now see. There's a name for it. It's the Chrysopolis. Chrysopolis. Chrysop. It means city of gold. Is this your fault? Did you do this?
no. Rather, well, listen. That's not important right now. I'm wondering how I might convince you to agree with me that it might be a good idea to load up my men here and set sail for somewhere else.
She looks at the Chrysopolis and looks back at you and says, "Who's chasing you?"
I really wouldn't worry about that.
And Cadesto says, "It's Ajax, isn't it?"
Okay. Yes. It is.
You're being honest. Okay. She says, "Black gods!" You're asking us to make an enemy of Ajax, the Invincible.
Well, he's not here right now, so I think if we set sail, quick as you like.
Her first mate, Gadesta, was like, shaking his head like, this is a terrible
Are we
idea.
there?
Yeah, you can be standing behind him, yeah. Sure, walk up the plank. Yeah.
Are you the talkative type? Are you the talkative type?
Well, no, I'm just.
He is the commander now.
Things are starting to go a little sideways, so I'm thinking we need some persuasion or some intimidation, maybe.
Yeah, I might step up a little closer and hear what's
Boots,
going on.
this is... I mean, don't get me wrong, Boots. I like you. But this is a complex situation you're walking into the middle of, she says. And Gadesta goes. And then Judge presents himself.
So
Black gods, she says.
Again.
praise them, yes. So Judge is gonna,
Actually, yeah. Anyway.
So he's gonna explain, we're not trying to get you all in trouble. Ajax.
Are those real?
Which ones?
She's pointing at your horns.
Oh, these?
Yeah.
In
Okay.
case she wants to touch them.
No, she's not that. She's curious, but she's not that bored.
Just like, ding, ding. Yeah. So he's gonna explain how,
Go
they're not
ahead,
looking.
touch my horn.
I was like, gonna get real personal, real fast.
Well,
Explain that they're not, they're not looking for trouble. Like, they can certainly pay their way if that would make things easier for them. And in fact, that Ajax was after their commander, who has since been eaten, and they would like to leave the city for greener pastures.
Gadesta goes. She goes, money, like how much money? It would take a lot.
Well, we have a lot.
And she looks at a doorway. There's a doorway over here you guys can't see. But she's like, I mean, it would take a lot.
At the doorway?
Yeah, it doesn't mean you can't. There's a doorway down into the hold. I mean, look at this cargo. I mean, we're talking about
What's your
thousands
What's
of
your
gold.
price?
Well, how much you got?
What's your
It could
price?
It could be worth my ship, she says, to make an enemy of Ajax. And you can hear the men are like, we need to get out of here.
How many of our men are here?
Well, all of the junior officers are here.
Okay.
And I would say, I'm going to roll some dice. I'm going to generate this number randomly, like it were 1979. 1, 2, this times 10.
Do I need to roll?
there's-
Can I roll my persuasion, by the way?
Well, it depends. Are you going to use the treasury? Are you going to use your persuasion? Are you going to combine the two somehow?
Which one
Are you going to try and
persuasion
Are you
or
going to try and
intimidation?
persuade your way on without having to use money?
I am equally good at both. I would rather not intimidate them, especially since we need a favor.
There's
We don't. Well, here's my thought: is we could take the ship,
I don't know how to run a ship.
but I'm take the
So-
ship
so,
basically
hey,
by
Anna?
getting rid of the captain.
Remember,
Let's just persuade him.
Right. Well,
I don't want to get
that's-
my hands dirty.
Well, that's,
remember when we found
Judge
the
is
ghost?
notorious. You've worked with Judge. Judge is notoriously by the book.
oh,
Judge is lawful, and super lawful.
okay.
So if there's a way to do this without burning bridges,
Life's always easier when you make friends.
which coming
Lawful
from
what?
Huh?
Lawful what? You're a priest of Asmodeus.
Look, lawful, okay?
let's just leave it. At that. You could probably guess and be correct.
Well, no, it wouldn't be a chaotic act. We would just be getting rid of the captain and installing a new one.
Sounds like a lot of chaos is usually involved in an overturn, a mutiny of those sorts.
Well, I could order you to do it.
I mean, it's gonna be tough.
But no, go ahead.
It's gonna be tough
Do
finding
your
a
thing.
crew after you kill the captain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, what?
So remember when we
Ghost
found,
of-
yeah.
Mufasa.
No, not. Oh, okay, yeah, hold on. My child. No, remember when we found the ghosts and the first campaign we played
Yes.
with Nat, and you can use all the things you know?
Yeah.
Like, you can convince them by talking about, look, the longer we're here, we're all going to die. There's several things that you can do in that to up your roll.
It's up to
hopefully.
you how you guys use your resources. You can just make a persuasion check and try, which I mean you're doing a pretty good job.
Well, I'd like to see if I can use my persuasion to basically. I know we're gonna have to pay, but I'd
Okay.
like us to ideally not pay so much.
Okay, so what
So
you're
I
trying to
think-
do is
I
you're
think
trying
the
to use your
combination-
persuasion.
Yeah, I think the combination of Boots being here and them having some kind of prior relationship, and then me stepping up and kind of persuading this captain that hey, we're not trying to mooch off you. Like we just want to get to capital.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
That's gonna
Ooh,
be
yeah.
a
19
30.
plus.
30. Jesus.
Yeah.
So, by the way, there are demons now flooding onto the docks. Now, the docks are huge. This is a big structure. There are many boats. But there are demons floating, and Gadesto's like, Captain, we have to leave.
Yeah, because I think Judge is gonna do the thing where he's like looking at the demons, and he turns to look, and he's just like, "So what about
She
it?"
sees the chest that you guys have, and she's like, we can work out a price after. Get on.
All right. Thank you, Captain.
Is there like a TripAdvisor for escape galleons?
Let me
Can we Yelp this?
Yelp
Can we Yelp that
also
with some
Cielo.
chat? That was, who was that?
How many dollar signs is this?
Prime
$3
Grinding
signs?
Cobra. Yeah. So, yeah, you guys get the, okay, so here's a question. Like, the crane, it's going to take another, couple of rounds to load this cargo up, and it's going to make it substantial. Like, are you going to wait for them to load the cargo?
I might absentmindedly ask them.
Well, if we wait a little while, does that mean more of our guys can get here?
Yes. Yeah.
But we might have to fight.
Yeah.
I can maybe.
Use
And
your
there are
Omega
demons,
strength.
and there is an army
I can
of
maybe
demons
shoot
coming.
some demons in the air as they were coming. I don't know if that.
What are we talking like
I don't know,
demons that
strong
we
roll.
could take?
Individually, yeah, but not as a whole.
Like a big horde.
Yeah, it's basically an army of demons is marching through the city.
Maybe I can't slow them down.
Well, I mean, it might just be a matter of like how much is that cargo worth, Captain?
Oh, you don't know who you're pissing off.
Can you use your hill giant strength to fucking?
Oh yeah.
We can maybe
use
lift
it.
it.
Yeah, give
to
it a shot.
load the cargo.
Well, it is basically
can
a
we just
giant,
This is
like,
just-
it's a combination of pulleys, ropes, and also weights. So, yeah, if you brace yourself against the mast, you could just start going,
Oh, let's do it. I'll do it.
All right, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Dope.
That's fucking cool.
That's awesome.
Mufasa.
Can I-
21.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's very heavy, but you are supernaturally strong. And so, yeah, you just say, yeah, you start grabbing this thing and yanking it, and the crane goes, like that as it wrenches around. Each time you pull it, it moves this, like 30 degrees. And you drop this giant package on, it's like bound together, what's I'm looking for? Like giant crates, nailed shut.
Right.
And they go, boom, and they land on the deck, and they're all in netting, and the netting collapses. And
Is
you
that
can,
all of it?
Yep.
All right. So we need to order any of our guys that are here to get on the
Yeah.
get on the damn boat.
Okay, there's like you get about between 60 and 70 guys on the boat.
And is that all? Like
I mean,
that are close.
Yeah, yeah, and now there's just demons everywhere. They are pulling up anchor.
Yeah. Go.
And the sails are already, it doesn't look like this, the sails are already unfurled. And they start, slowly pulling out. Now that you guys are on board, now that the sailors are all in the rigging, doing their jobs, moving around like it was regular, just walking on the ground, now a flood of people are coming at the docks. People are jumping off the docks trying to get on this boat. And it's only like, right now, it's only like 5-7 feet away, but the ship is slowly pulling away, and people are just jumping into the water. And these demons are starting to just rip people apart.
How much space do we have on the boat still?
I mean, it's a galleon. There's,
did our guys fill it up?
no. There's a lot of, they fill up, they pack the top deck, but there's like 3 different levels below this thing. It can carry a lot of troops.
Any of those people in the water look like people we might want to help?
I think Judge is going to turn a blind eye and ask the captain where we want to keep the chest at.
Other ships, none as big as this, but also there are some 3 masters, are also pulling away. And at this point, you see as these ships are escaping the harbor, all these tiny little dinghies are trying to get away. You see this tiny floating figure that actually does look a little bit like this. Or like this character represented, as Mortem was described to you. I mean, he's super far away and just kind of floating around. And from him, spells are emitting.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And one of the galleons, as it's pulling out of port, gets hit with one fireball and then another fireball. The masts are destroyed and the ship starts listing and sinking. And he's, got some kind of crazy extended range on his spells that allows him to stay.
How far away is he?
You can't get a sense. It could be 1,000 feet.
So not within our bow range.
Not within weapon range.
320.
This one's about to die.
Actually, you would probably recognize that this is like battle magic. This is magic that you only have access to when you have a stronghold.
Gotcha.
And this is, his stronghold is right there. And so
yeah.
it decimates units.
Right.
The entire crew is now very heavily motivated to make sure that the sails are properly rigged, and the Rossos Yellow, in spite of being the biggest ship in port, it's somehow built for speed, and so it is accelerating. And there's at least one other ship.
Is it a pirate ship? Or
Well, I mean,
like
pirate
a merchant ship, or
Gadesto says, "It is early in our relationship for us to be calling each other names."
I didn't ask him.
He's like, "How would you like it if we all referred to you as filthy murderers?" I mean, we do some piracy? Who can say? Piracy is in the eye of the beholder, my mother always said. So there's one other galleon that's kind of keeping pace with the Rossos Yellow, and Captain Massingham is at the mast, and she's barking orders to the crew, and the entire crew all move as one person. And Gadesto is up here trying to kind of coordinate the efforts of the riggers. And as you guys, the wind fills the sails, and the sky above you, it's now like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. It's a bright, beautiful day. And you can see the giant floating citadel is retreating, getting smaller and smaller as you pull away from the city. And this one other ship, and she points and she knows the name of the ship. It's called the Sparrow. And she's like, eyes on the Sparrow, because she's using them as kind of a gauge to see how well are we doing. And she's like, we should beat them. And the Rossos Yellow is pulling ahead. And these giant tentacles come up from the water and start wrapping themselves around the Sparrow. And you can see the tiny figures on the ship. It's a Vaslorian ship. You can see these guys, they don't look like pirates. They almost look like they're in uniform. You can see them hacking and stabbing at these tentacles, but there are, dozens of them. And they slowly wrap around the ship and break it in half and pull the ship below water. And
Wow.
Captain Massingham says, who turns to Boots and says, which one of you is in charge?
Commander.
You really know how to make things tough for me. Where are we going?
Capital.
Well, someone's not going to be happy with that. And there is a... This dude comes out of the hold.
Whoa.
Is that a boy?
And, let's see.
Yeah.
Half orc, perhaps?
Yeah, he's a half-orc. And he's, you guys are, I don't know how familiar you would be with this, but he's wearing Ajax's livery. And he says, turn this ship around! And as he's talking, other half-orcs start coming out of the hold. There's a bunch of them. And they all have the symbol of Saint Ajax on their tabards, on their clothing, on their shields. And it's 11 o'clock. It's probably a good place to stop.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, thanks for putting up with the final contract of the chain. And now it's just a question of how you guys get to capital. And as I said before, like the first half of that super cutscene-y, And then there's what do you guys do and the skill challenge, and now you guys are a little bit more in control. And it's still going to be a little railroady from here to Capital, but like this encounter, there's going to be lots of stuff for you guys to do. And then once you get to Capital, it's going to be very kind of open world sandboxy. And so,
Cool.
Nice.
so anyway, I think that's it. I think we streamed D&D for the first time.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
We did it!
I hope you guys had fun,
worked.
and Lars also played.
And also, oh,
Ghost from Beyond.
We got to get new art for you. We got to talk to Jason and get new art for your new dude.
1 week.
How many Infinity Stones does Ajax have now? Well,
Yeah,
Phil
right.
asked a good question during the break,
Was
and it didn't come up, and that is, did Lady Serial drop the other sword?
Yeah.
And the answer was yes. So now Ajax has at least one of the teeth.
Is Orion just disintegrated?
You saw. I described it as Orion. It's not clear whether or not. Certainly, somebody in the chain is familiar with these ancient elven artifact swords, and now you guys are on the ship. You can kind of talk about what happened, and part of that is that was Orion, the Master Sword, and it makes you basically invulnerable to all weapons. And
Unless
it's
it's
gone
broken.
now. Yeah, and what the power is of the Teeth of the Dragon when the Master Sword is broken is unknown. But they were pretty sure that the second sword she pulled out was Scorpius, the Sword of Lies.
That's the one we gave her.
Anna would recognize that sword anyway.
Oh yeah, we gave her that one at the
Well,
end.
yeah, it was that or die.
At the end
Also,
of the-
so something you have to decide, and we should do it either right now or we should wait and talk about it next time we stream so that folks don't miss anything, is who's the new lieutenant? I mean, I guess it could be Lars's character. That's up to you. Because they already have ranks and you can only have one. But if somebody could give up their rank and become the lieutenant, but then that means, so the relationship between the commander and the lieutenant is the commander decides what jobs do we take. You don't necessarily really issue orders. That would be bad leadership to be constantly telling everybody what to do.
Right.
The lieutenant figures out, okay, how are we going to do this? Right? Neither one of them really is the tactics commander. That would be like the sergeant if there was one and nobody took that. So you guys are still free to play your characters in combat however you want, but it's the lieutenant's job to kind of like coordinate the effort after the captain decides what we're doing. So
Right.
that's something you can think about. Lars, I assume you'll have a new character. You work here, you have nothing else to do but make a new person.
No, I'm gonna go cry for a few days and play
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts.
Keep playing Hearts. PTO, Kingdom Hearts. You would be the first person who would do that. I think that's it. I think we're done. I think we're going to sign off. Thanks for watching. As I suspect this is the largest crowd we're ever going to stream to. I think probably a lot of East Coast folks have probably already logged off. We'll upload the video to YouTube as soon as we can. That probably means Friday morning. And then we'll do probably a campaign diary tomorrow. And I'll talk about what happened. And we'll do a live stream, world building live stream, 11 o'clock on Saturday. And we may talk about this, but the one thing that I want to wait to talk about is the death of the captain, because that's going to require me talking to Lars offline. And so when we do the post-mortem on this, I'm going to declare that off limits for now, but not later. Later we'll talk about it. Otherwise, thanks for watching, everybody. See you next Wednesday.